Previously, on Rise of the Runelords. After saving the town of Turtleback Ferry from becoming an underwater graveyard, the group climbed on the back of the summoned rock and flew back to Fort Rannoch to retrieve Sanishi and Vale Temros. Catching them up on what transpired, our heroes quickly turned their attention to the dam, deciding to investigate the explosion, smoke, and tidal wave of water for themselves. The dam was called Skull's Crossing, and Vale told of its old Thessalonian build, its massive size, and how it had stood for thousands of years. As they approached, the large gap in the dam that was the source of the flash flooding was hard to miss. Upon reaching the dam, the party quickly discovered the remains of a number of Hook Mountain ogres, or at least several parts of many different Hook Mountain ogres, strewn along the edges of the gap. Dismounting the rock, our heroes found a number of ogre footprints and some kind of dragon marks.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That seemed to be going towards the dam, but without any signs of moving away from it. After following the dragon marks to their abrupt start, our heroes decided that the ogres of Hook Mountain and their new stone giant clan leader were too dangerous to leave alone and must be dealt with for what they had done to Fort Rannoch and Turtleback Ferry. Upon reaching the Hook Mountain clan hold, Tarnin tried to distract the two ogre guards, first with a magically illuminated snowball, then by acting like a wounded creature, which allowed the group time to jump into action, and they made quick work of the surprised guards. Moving further into the cave, the group came upon more ogres who were standing guard with an Etten. Our heroes leapt into action, startling the creatures and beginning a ferocious battle. Today, the adventure continues.
Oh God! I see nothing. I see nothing.
No, that's what Grelda sees.
Oh, okay.
Because if you remember, Grelda went down to the ogres and the Etin, and she saw there were forge fires glowing and anvils throughout the enormous cavern. The ring of steel on steel thunders as giant hammers crash down again and again on glowing half-forged blades and axe heads. And she noticed that there were a couple of ogre guards with like the chains around their hands, and the other ogres were standing at the irons, or at the anvils. Grelda killed one of the ogres. Tarnin shot the Etin twice. And then Geisen went. So it is... What's up? Nope. Okay. It is this guy's turn. Okay. I can't tell if that's just latent audio or if somebody was trying to talk. Alright. So.
Sorry, it's probably just latent audio. Let me turn down our sound a little bit.
Oh, that's fine. Alright, so the ogre is going to back away from everybody.
I am so scary, y'all. This is awesome.
He's backing away from everybody, and Grelda, give me a perception check, and then let me know what languages you speak.
Oh. 19 on the perception, and the languages does include Goblin. Let me see if I can find variant features, facial features, speech. Where would it be? Wait, there it is. Common, Dwarvish, and Goblin.
Common, Dwarvish, and Goblin. Okay, so you can't see the ogre from where you're at, but you hear it speaking in a low, gruff language that you don't understand. It says just a couple of words, and then comes.
Is it like sing-songy, like I might expect a spellcast to be?
No. It's very quick and gruff. Just a few words, and then it comes back and completes its movement, and it is going to attack you.
Yay!
With its club, with advantage, because you used your reckless attack, and you nominated the Etin. Alright. Okay, that is very annoying. There we go. No, the dice rolled on D&D Beyond, and one of the dice landed and covered the final number. So I had to wait for it to. I had to wait for it to disappear before I could see what it was. What is your armor class?
19,000.
Well, what do you know? I rolled a 19,000. So, rolling. Alright, so he, like I said, he steps back, you hear him speaking, he comes up at you and just takes his large club and just smashes right down on top of your head. Like square right on the top of your head. And does 13 damage. You are raging though, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that is rounded down, so 6 damage.
I love being a barbarian, y'all. Damage taken.
And then his turn is over. And then, hearing all of the commotion from the other room, the ogre with the chains around its arms sprints towards you. And
That first guy wasn't within range of me when he walked away the first time, right?
no, he was not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
You were within melee range of the ogre that is dead and the Atin.
Okay.
But he was off to the side a little bit. Alright, so he is going to... Yeah, we're going to do this one. He has advantage against you as well. Okay. Another 19. He is using Chain Smash, which does another 13 damage, so another 7 bludgeoning damage to you.
I thought it was 6 last time.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. It was rounded down. 6, my bad. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright,
Because he wraps the large chain around one fist and comes down at an angle to the side of your head, and he hits you right in the side of the neck. And as it makes contact with you, you see your vision begin to blur and darken, and you get that tunnel of light. The I'm gonna lose consciousness tunnel.
Well, I got a 10.
So, you try and fight and keep focus, but it continues to get smaller, and you are knocked unconscious.
A 10? Wow, okay.
Yes, the DC was higher than that, so you failed the saving throw. So, let me see. You can't move, speak, and are unaware of your surroundings. You fall prone. Attack rolls against you have advantage, which they already did.
But that should be disadvantaged because I'm prone, isn't it?
Well, if you're prone and a creature is right next to you, those attacks have advantage. Anything not immediately in melee range would have disadvantage. And since you're unconscious... What was that?
Just to point out, we do have the fumble card available.
Yeah, make a music. Use it.
I couldn't quite hear that. What was that?
Yeah,
The fumble card.
With the fumble card available, you can force the enemy to reroll a single attack with disadvantage.
Yep, do it again. Make it so.
All right.
And I will take unconscious off of my conditions list.
Well, just wait.
Wow.
That was 6 points of damage, right, Sean?
Yes.
That I should just retract.
Yes, 6. All right. So, very good use of it because that was an 11.
Like I said, next time we go to attack a giant wave of ogres and giants, you should take a rest first.
I am having a hard time hearing you, Lars. You sound very far
I agree.
away.
It's super choppy.
Could you move the mic closer to your face? Or your face closer to the mic?
Oh, so Tammy, take those 6 points of damage off because since he had to re-roll the attack. So, he wraps the chain around his hand. He comes down at an angle again, but as he's coming down, that extra weight that he's had on both hands is just on the one, and that's enough to kind of throw him off a little bit. So he swings a little past, and he just misses your shoulder. Because cards are special.
Somewhere in another life. Grog's in my
and
ocean.
as you feel the wind whooshing past your head, you get a vision of yourself crumbling to the ground unconscious, and you just think, man, that would have sucked. All right, so his turn is over. Let's see.
This is an attack Grell to party. I think they're running out of room. All right.
Oh man, they are running out of room. Yeah, that's... Doesn't even have a... nope, he doesn't really have enough room to slide around you either. Alright, so that's all he can do. So, Sanishi, you are up.
Okay.
You get to use all of your move speed to get almost close enough to do something.
Right. Okay.
Oh no, you can play your flute.
I mean, I can't.
Play some Yaz flute.
That's gluten.
Can you inspire anyone? Is that a thing you can do?
Yeah. Okay, I think. So, I want to move into the hallway
There it is.
as much as I can. With my-
Alright, so... That's 15 feet.
Wait, show that again. I'm sorry.
It's 15 feet to where you're at?
Oh, sweet.
Checking, is my audio any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think it was because the dehumidifier was running.
Okay.
So you have 15 more feet of movement if you want.
I mean, I might as well move just further down that hallway.
That's 15 more.
Beautiful. Okay. Cool. The dude. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna attack the orc that's on its own over there.
The ogre?
Not orcs. Ogre. Yes. Or
Everything's an orc to her. Just let her have it.
Goblin.
attack
Everyone's a
Sarah.
goblin.
Yeah. True. And I'm going to hit it with some dissonant whispers.
Oh.
If Sanishi could please refer to all of our enemies as tall goblins henceforth, that would be great.
Yeah, just like,
That's a two-headed goblin.
The two-headed goblin. The big goblin all by itself. The goblin
winged
with
goblin.
wings that Icky killed.
The giant red
Yep, the
goblin.
flying red goblin. Alright, so Dissonant Whispers, let's see.
Dissonant whispers. Instantaneous. It's a wisdom.
Wisdom
throw.
saving throw of, let me see, of 13. Alright.
And of course, the rare, but twice killed, snake-tailed goblin.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. Okay, that is happening far too often. This is already annoying. There we go. He rolled a 9, so he definitely failed. 9!
Alrighty then.
Okay, so mark off your spell slot for Dissonant Whispers, and takes 3d6 psychic damage, and must immediately use its reaction to move as far as its speed allows away from you. Ooh. Alright, so roll for the damage for that.
I did. Looks like I got 11.
Ooh. 11 damage, you're right. 11, and its movement is 60. So let me move him, and then I'll describe it. All right. Huh?
Can you ping which one it is? Like, do I get a disengage thing?
You will. Let me. Oh wait, do you have whoop, 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 whoop.
I have Sentinel, and I think that gives me something special.
It if you hit with your attack, they can't move.
With an opportunity attack, yeah.
Yeah, so this would be an
I...
opportunity attack. If you take it and you hit, that means he doesn't move. Even
Correct.
though that's what the spell is doing. So it's your choice if you want to take that reaction or not.
No,
knowing that.
Oh, I don't get to choose to take it or not, huh?
Yeah, you do. Attack of opportunities are always a choice because you use your reaction. So, like, if he moves and you use your reaction to do an attack of opportunity on him, and then another one moves, you've already used your reaction for this turn.
Gotcha,
So it's always a
gotcha.
choice. Reactions, bonus actions, actions are always choices. So it's one of those things, if you want him to move away, you might not want to use your opportunity attacks. If you hit, he doesn't move. But if you're more focused on doing damage, then...
I feel like Relda would take the tack, and I also feel like Sinishi would support her in this decision.
All right, so go ahead and roll your... It's just, your regular melee attack.
So, real quick point of clarification. Grell is using a sentinel attack here, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
Oh, no, it's the thing that makes them not be able to move is an attachment to the Sentinel ability. It's not an actual Sentinel attack.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a feat.
That's something that you got to select, like, as a barbarian extra thing?
No,
No,
it's a feat that anybody can choose.
I mean, like, I have sentinel attack, and I'm looking at it.
Did you
Go
click
to
it,
features and
open it?
traits. And scroll all the way to the bottom, and Sentinel should be one of your feats.
Oh, okay. There's way more in it here.
Yes.
Than the initial. Wow, I'm probably underutilizing some of my skills, aren't I?
I was doing a lot of that. If you click it while it's in that main thing, it will bring up the greater text for you.
Oh yeah, no, I see it. I see it now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry to distract.
Oh, you're good. Okay, then let me double check. You used your... Now I want to check your reckless attack. Alright, you do not get advantage on this one, though. Because
Okay.
your reckless attack is just during that turn, not during the round.
All right, then since I'm doing it without advantage, I'm not going to do the thing where I take 5 off of my roll and get 10 more damage. I don't know if I could do that anyway, but I'm not gonna. So 1. Please hit, please hit, please hit. 25.
25 definitely hits.
All right, and then... Really?
8!
Well, 13 total because of the raging, but lame.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, 11 total. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 total. Sorry.
Alright. 11. Alright, so Sinishi moves down the hallway, slides past Tarnan, and she's waving one of her axes around as she starts to sing a low melody that Tarnan just barely hears. And the ogre grabs its head and just shakes it, and you can see a little like blood start to trickle down its ear, and it just looks at Sinishi, this creature, even the half orc that's still about, half the size of him or a little more. His eyes get really wide and he turns to run, and then Grelda just takes Sasha and just Achilles like slices him right across the Achilles heel, and he just like he takes like half a step and then just drops to a crouch and just lets out a roar. All right. Anything else you want to do, Sanishi?
Well, first I would like to announce that the song I'm singing is the one that gets on everybody's nerves. And I would also like to cast Blade Ward.
Do what?
So until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapons.
That is an action to cast. And you just used your action to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, never mind. Oh, I see. Duh. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
If you had a cantrip that was a bonus action to cast, you could.
Right. And I realized that I did that with my cantrips. Okay. Yep. Never mind. In that case, I'm done.
All right. Then in that case, it is the Ettin's turn. So, while all this is going on, the Ettin has been paying attention. Its heads have still been kind of looking back and forth at the 2 crossbow bolts that have been embedded into its shoulders from Tarnan. So, like, all of this is going on. There's screeches and blood, and it hasn't looked up at all. So then both of its heads finally look up and they look up and then both down, and like both of their eyes level at Grelda. And the one on the right, "You're small, but you're annoying." And then it takes its, in one hand, it has a large battle axe, larger than Sasha. And the other one, it's got a large morning star. So as that head talks, it brings the battle axe down on Grelda, which is not an advantage. Oh dear. Okay. That was a crit.
Oh.
Can I?
Dear.
Say, I wonder if I can I share these after the fact? No. That's something I should be able to do. To share. Anyway. So. Crit. Roll for... Oh, it actually has a crit damage roll. Okay, so 19 halved is 10. So its large battle axe comes, and you take a little step back so that it doesn't bury itself in your shoulder, but it still cuts down the front of your chest from shoulder to hip. And then as it does that, the other head lets out a small laugh. "Here, you are small. Let's finish this." And then he tries to come down with his morning star. And that is a 25. So that is 14 damage, half to 7. So as you step back and that one cuts across, the other one ends up swinging down and just catching you right in the hip that the battle axe is coming off of, and just smashes into the side of you. And as they pull back, they both heads start just like looking way down at you, because it is like 3 times your size, and just giggling and snickering. And then Icky, you are up.
All
Icky is up and Grelda's next.
Icky is going to behind the that closest ogre, the one that had a little bit of yo-yo played with it. I want to go just like the square above it to the left.
To the left?
To the left.
Oh yeah, that's 35.
I have 50 movement.
Yep,
so.
and that is 50 right there.
Over it. I'm sorry. So there. Yes.
All right. So that is 45.
Yes. And then I will give it the old bird 1-2.
Claw that bad boy.
With advantage, because we're flanking?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, why not?
Well, you can make it move one farther left, and it's got the movement for
I say
it.
yeah. Either you... I'll just leave it. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean,
With a large, with a creature that large, I would say the flanking area expands a little bit.
All right.
27. Oh no, that doesn't hit. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, totally. Does. 8 damage. All right, go ahead and roll your second one right away. Okay, I gotta say, it's kind of nice being able to see your rolls right away.
Yeah.
Good. Yep, that hits 2. A 2 and a 15. Shit.
That's it.
11. Oh man. All right. So as it is kind of like it is still in a crouched position, like grabbing at its Achilles tendon as it just bleeds. And you come around. Icky like quickly comes around, and its head just moves up in time to see you stop and start to swing. And as it's kind of crouched, you're at about the same height. So your first one, you close your fist and just smash right into the side of its head. And its head snaps, and you see 2 teeth come flying out. And as its head snaps, you immediately come back with a claw and just slice along its neck. Not deep enough to kill it, but you see blood just start pouring out, and this thing does not look good. Put it that way.
All right. Icky's well, you know, like I assume that Icky's, you know, like got a clear view of what's happened to Grelda just before he got over here. Yeah.
Yes, he would have been able to see that.
All right, yeah. So like he's not prepared to take any chances. He's not fucking around here. He's gonna pop a key point, and do it all over again. So there's that key point. Oh, that's highlighting, not scrolling.
Pippity poppity.
I've got a mouse right here. What the fuck am I doing?
That hits.
Whew. Man.
11. All right, go ahead and roll your next one. That will not.
He's nice. Whoops, I only hit. All right, so that's one roll. So I forgot to do it with advantage. So we're gonna. So the first one 8. Second one is a B. What's a B? Is B good?
B is a crit. B is bastard. All right, let me see. Nope, that's not the right one.
My score. What's that?
Blah. All right, it says max damage. So, roll your. What would be? Click on your attack, and where it says roll crit damage. I think that's an option.
Oh, okay.
Your damage roll. If you
Yeah,
right click on it, there should be a crit.
Oh, right click. Gotcha.
Right.
Yes, crit damage.
All right, go ahead and roll that. But it's going to be max, so it's 2d6 plus 5, so it would be 17. I just wanted to see what it was.
I mean, it rolled it as a 13.
Yeah, but it's since the card said max damage, your 2d6 would have both been 6s. And then so that's 12, add 5 to it, so that's 17. So as its one hand is still gripping its leg as it's bleeding from its tendon, its other hand comes up and like tries to staunch the stream of blood coming from its neck. And as it does, you take both of your claws and just one each and just manage to find a spot just above its hand and just cross across its neck, and then its throat just opens and it just falls to the side.
Can I, before my turn ends here, kind of like hold up the coin that Tarnin gave me to the west and see if I can see anything out there?
Let me see.
Is that actiony enough for you?
I'm trying to think. That casts light on it, right?
Yeah.
To the west. Take that special coin and point it to the west.
I am just trying to see exactly how much. 20 foot of dim light. So as you hold it up, let me see, 20 foot of bright and 20 foot of dim. So dim is 40, bright is 20. That's what you see.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Are you leaving it up or putting it down?
I'd tuck it back into the feathery area from whence it came.
All right. And your vision begins to go much darker. All right. In that case, Grelda. You're up.
I am going
And then
to
Tarnin is next. Attack the Etten.
Get in. I will do so recklessly, and I will still curse the Etten to not be able to do advantage against me.
All
I know
right.
curse isn't right, but I am mentally cursing, so I think it's right.
I think that's what we should say. Like, you have to swear at whatever creature you are choosing for this. I think I'm going to edit. I think I'm going to edit Sasha to like say that you have to curse at said creature.
Let's see, what was I going to say? I'm not attacking the one because it is acting as a nice little cork to the bottleneck there.
Actually, you're the one acting as the cork. Because there's only.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, they're large creatures and there's only 5 feet of space above you.
Yeah, small but mighty. Who's tiny now, Etienne?
Tiny.
Because you said you like to see our rolls, I will try one more time, but if it rolls damage as low as it has been, I'm going to swap to my dice because this is ridiculous. I have a D12. I want to see the numbers. So, I'm going to do advantage attack against the Etienne. I am going to do the thing where we subtract 5 from it, though.
Okay. So
19?
19, that hits.
Yes!
Alright, so roll damage and add 10.
If this is a 2, I will turn off my camera briefly, say some spicy words, and then return.
I think you should leave it on.
There we go. There we go.
Oh!
So,
60 words.
26.
29.
What?
There's a +3 for raging.
Oh, okay. So 29 damage. Jesus. Alright. Alright. So, as they're both still looking down at you, like, just this, you hear this, like, low rumble laugh and this almost high-pitched giggle from each of the heads. You heft Sasha, grab both hands, and then swing up with your golf club. Swing upwards, and neither of them move. They just both they stop laughing, and both of their eyebrows, both their heads kind of turn, tilt to the side, kind of wondering what's going on, and you slice it from navel all the way up to the chest, and it is like the cloth it's wearing splits open. You see that its skin splits open, and it lets out, both heads go back, and it lets out a cry of pain, and you can tell that it is looking rough compared to what it was when you walked in.
And at this point, I am remembering that I was told we didn't have to take prisoners. So, I will wind up for my second swing. Grelda, known for her golf game, naturally.
Naturally.
Well, she invented golf.
Say she has a Scottish accent, so that makes sense.
Dwarfs invented golf, so it also makes sense that way.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh,
24.
24? Oh, is it not updating mine? What?
It's the halflings that invented golf.
Was it?
Oh, so what is it? It's not updating for me yet. 24?
Oh, it was a natural 29, but then it's minus the 5.
Oh, I guess it did. Okay. 29 minus 5, so yes, that does hit as well.
All right. Ready, set, go. See, a 3. What is that nonsense? 23. Pathetic.
Pathetic. Alright, so you slice up and then immediately turn and come back down. And you are so focused and so pissed off that you manage to get Sasha just like you hit the exact same straight line back on the way down, and you just cut in even further. And you can tell that Sasha is digging into bone as you go down its chest, and there is just blood gushing and pouring, and it's running down its legs, and it's soaking its cloth, and a little.
Not dead?
It is not dead. It is looking awful. Awful.
Wow.
But it is not dead.
It was gonna be my turn to make the DM cry, and I rolled a 3, y'all. So sad.
This is
All right.
be a
You don't know what
recording.
else is in here. So, anything else you want to do?
I don't think I would have noticed Icky looking down that hallway because I would have been facing away, so no, I will not do anything else.
All right. In that case, Tarnin, you are up, and Geisen is next.
I believe I should be able to move to south of Icky.
That is 30 feet. I'll take you right there.
That's 30 feet. I thought I could go one farther south.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said directly south of him. Yes. This is 30 feet as well.
Perfect. And the team looks like it's about to die.
It looks rough.
What about the other one next to her? Next to Grelda?
It hasn't been hit. Neither of the other two have been hit at all.
How many of those other targets can I see now? Did you say at least the 3, not the one up at the top?
You can see the 3 that are next to you. I would say you can't see the one at the top, but you can see the 3 in there. And
Okay.
they are all still standing over their anvils with their hammers and like swords or axe heads or something on them.
Alright. I will fire at the team. I will use. Tell me real quick again. What gives me advantage? Do I have advantage because Grelda's there or not?
No, because she's not flanking. She is adjacent to, but she is not flanking. I believe. Let me double check your sneak attack. I think you can use your sneak attack. You can use your sneak attack damage because she's there, but you don't get advantage on the attack roll.
Right. Sneak attack damage is something I can get if I don't move and use my bonus as a steady aim.
Steady aim would give you, steady aim gives you advantage, but yeah, you wouldn't move.
But I will move, so I'm going to go with the one regular attack coming.
All right.
Crossbow.
Crossbow.
I don't know what it. Oh, I double damaged.
You what? Oh, you did. Well,
First one crits.
oh,
So it'll be.
let me see. Ranged crit. It says right in the kisser, maximum damage, and the target cannot speak for 1d4 rounds.
So
right click your damage and do crit roll, and then I'll just max whatever it could be.
well, it's 2d6 plus 6.
So 18, and then
So that would be the
so 2d6 is 12.
right plus 6 is 18. That's the crit damage.
Hold on.
It's normally 1d6 plus 6.
Okay. Then yeah.
So it should
So
be
18, and then your maximum sneak attack damage would be
2 more d6.
2 more d6, so 12.
Yep.
So 24, 6, so that's 30. All right, so Tarnin runs down and runs around in a crouch, pulls up his hand crossbow is already in his hand. So he pulls it up, aims it, fires, and as the Atene, both of its hands are kind of trying to like close its wound, the head on the right turns as soon as you fire, and your bolt goes into its mouth and out through the back of its head, and its head immediately drops. The other head kind of looks at it and has a delayed reaction before its eyes close, and the whole Atine just falls forward to the ground.
On top of Geralda, so she's now covered and has
And takes 1d10 pinned
but she's
damage.
got full cover now. She's
Well-
got full cover, right?
Oh yeah, full cover, pinned. She takes fall damage.
She takes fall damage. All right. My second attack will also be a single 20, no advantage. But I'm going to try the -5 to hit for freaking, what do you call it? Crossbow. No, that's not it.
No, I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
me
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. Hey, that's the one.
All right,
So I will use the
so
sharpshooter.
-5 for +10.
Correct.
All right.
You take. Does a 9 hit?
So 9. 9 does not hit.
All right. Bonus action. Fire again. Same
All right.
thing.
All right.
Does a 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Okay. So 10,
So go ahead and roll your damage, and then add 10 to it.
6. 6 is 12 is 26 total.
Oh, you rolled a 6? Nice.
Yes, I did.
All right,
Would you like to move
so
the camera?
12, 22. No. 22. All right. All right, so you after the Eden drops, you turn your hand crossbow and fire your first one at the ogre, and it actually its hand wrapped in the chain actually comes up and deflects it, and it brings its hand down and just has this shit-eating grin on its face as you fire the second one, and it hits right below the clavicle and just sinks in.
That concludes my turn.
All right, Geisen, you are up.
From Geisen's point of view, how rough does Grelba look?
How rough? Grelda, how rough do you look?
I could keep going for days. I could, like, you know, if you offered me a band-aid, I would jump you down. Like, it's all good.
You were knocked unconscious by the attack that we did first, right? So you must be pretty bad.
So I must be what?
You must be like pretty low on hit points.
No.
No, that was an ability. It was a saving throw she would have failed.
Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, well in that case, I'm just going to toll the dead, the one that Tarn just attacked.
All right, and what kind of saving throw is that?
Wisdom 17.
Well, oh yeah. With that number, he's sure to get it.
You rolled a 20.
No, 19. I'm sorry, Lars. It has a -2, so it actually rolled a 17. I'm sorry. So as you bring up your hand and the dark energy coalesces, its hand is up trying to pull out the crossbow bolt, and it just kind of shakes its head and then looks at you and just gives you this dirty look. But nothing happens.
That concludes my turn.
Alright. I really need to add a do their feedback and suggest being able to send these rolls after they've been rolled. Alright. It is actually the ogre next to Grelda's turn. And oh, okay. So it doesn't get that back, but it will, I guess, it will just attack Grelda with advantage. That is a... Okay, this is happening far, far too often. That is a 21.
So that'll hit.
So, the same chained hand, it It was grabbing at the crossbow bolt, and it just kind of tries to backhand at you, and it catches you in the side of the face, and does 4, because it's rounded down. 4 damage to you. 4 bludgeoning damage. And then it will actually try to move away from you.
It can try. Because I had my turn, so I get to do it again.
Yes,
right?
you get your reaction back.
All right, and we determine it's just a regular straight.
Just a regular melee attack. Yep.
19.
19 hits.
All right.
So he's not going anywhere.
No, he is not. All right, you better roll high, little jerk. That is what I'm talking about.
Jesus. All right.
21.
All right. So.
Should also make a note, like, while I'm raging, if you're, like, giving suggestions, it should just add my rage bonus to this. This is silly.
No, I like that. There's got to be a way to add, like, that and then, like, the feats, like the Grave Weapons Master and stuff like that. Should be able to, like, click that or right-click that.
Yeah.
Should be able to add those to it somehow. It's still, technically, it's still an alpha, so. But anyway. So, it backhands Grelda, and you just, like, your hand comes up to your jaw as the creature turns around and like tries to sidestep around the other ogre, and it turns around and takes a step, and you actually take Sasha, and instead of swinging, you're so pissed you like jam the edge of Sasha like right into its back, turn it and pull it out, and it's just like a huge chunk of skin comes out, and it just stops dead in its tracks, and its chained hand comes back and tries to grab at the huge open wound, and it is not looking good at all.
We call that one the melon baller.
How far are you from it? You're 15 feet. Oh, so that won't work. Can it? Nope. The outcropping is there. No. Well. I guess he's gonna take a step back.
Sucks to be big.
Let's take a step back, and it's Shanishi's turn again.
Oh, cool. I am going to.
And then Icky's next.
I will approach the ogre. The one that I can kind of get to, I guess.
Right there.
Kind of blocking the way. Yeah.
Yep. You can't get any further around him.
And I'm gonna attack him with my axes.
All right.
First. Oh, fuck you.
13 hits.
Really?
They are very big, and they are wearing cloth. Like, they just have raggedy strips of clothes on.
Wow.
So that hits. So.
Alright. Well. Cool. Looks like I'm doing 11 damage.
All right. Go ahead and roll your second attack.
Second attack. I can't see you. Uh-oh. That followed that time.
That hits.
Oh, cool. And
10.
10 damage.
All right, so Shinichi rushes down, and as this ogre is like faced away from you and just like grabbing his back, he kind of looks over his shoulder and sees you coming, but before he even has a chance to turn around, you spin both your axes in your hands, and you bring them both down on its shoulders and just bury them both and then drag them down his back and just open up 2 wide channels in his back. And as you pull the axes out, his eyes kind of glaze over, and he slumps down dead.
That felt good. That will be the end of my turn.
All right, Icky. And then Grelda's next.
Let me see here. I guess if you would go to the threat at hand, get right up in that ogre's face. Again, as close to the southern wall as possible.
All right.
And then the old claw.
All right.
Oh no!
That hits.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
All right, then go ahead and roll your second attack. Do you have that? Definitely hits.
10 damage.
10.
All
Alright, so as this ogre is just, he has the chain is in both of his hands and like he has it pulled tight. He looks down at his most recent dead comrade as this tall bird, just almost like a blur, flies up, and you just like quick 2 jabs right to its nose. The first one, its head flies back, and the second one you hear a crunch, and then you see its nose go sideways, and then blood starts to pour down.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez.
That'll be my turn.
Alright, then Grelda, you're up.
Question. If I say words, does that remove my ability to do the, like, advantage attack kind of things?
No, as long as it's short.
Because now I've seen Sinishi and I've seen Icky, so I know the team is here now.
Mhm.
So I would just real quick, without even looking, just point backwards at that hallway and say, "Someone talked up there," and then just run
Oh,
towards
yeah,
the
that's
side where
fine.
Icky is.
Okay.
And then I think I'll have. Just kidding. Maybe I'll attack. Maybe. Just out of curiosity, because I've had to move, so I had a little bit of time. None of these other ogres in here have made any attempts to attack us or any aggressive moves yet.
They have not. None of them have moved off of the spots they were at when you first saw them.
Okay.
Are they still working on their stuff? Like, are
No. You can like the hammering sounds have stopped, and they're just all like standing there, still holding their tools and their implements and just watching.
Normally, got to pay money for this kind of show.
All right, so just regular attack.
After careful consideration, I think I'm gonna attack recklessly.
Are you sure?
And, I'm thinking I will. Actually, can I noodle around to the other side so we're flanking?
No.
Okay.
Wait, let me see. How?
I'm short. They keep bringing it up.
That's a 5 foot. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
Okay.
that rock outcropping is a little too far.
All right, he is facing away from me. All right, well then I will still attack recklessly, and I will use the Great Weapons Master Whatchamajoogle.
There you go. Now he's facing
What is he doing?
you. You said he was facing away from you, so he's facing you now.
No, he's not. Now he's facing the ceiling. Now he's prone. This. Okay, that's much better. Yes.
Let him lead his ogre life, man.
Okay, so you're gonna do the -5 plus 10 damage.
Yes.
All right.
And
while
I will
attacking
also use Sasha to curse him so that he can't advantage against me. Although I'm not sure he's gonna last that long.
you do love?
I clicked on Icky, which gave us his vision, which is.
All right, are we good? Am I done declaring the things I'm doing? Can I do them
You
now?
are good.
All right. Advantage. I got me a 20.
Oh, good lord.
Nice.
Is it going to be this kind of battle?
Well,
Alright.
I also hold on. I also have a special thing where I get to add something when I get crits. Where is it? Where are you?
You can roll 1 additional weapon damage die to determine the extra damage for a critical hit with a melee attack.
Where are you seeing that? Because I like to find
Features and traits. Feral brutal critical. That's what it's called. And the card was max damage, so
So
roll. Do the what is your damage?
1d12 plus 6 plus 3.
So 1d12. So it says the card was full damage. So 12, 24, 36 plus what?
3 for the rage.
3 for the rage, so 39. Is it 1d12 plus something?
It's 1d12 plus 6. I thought you did the plus 6 already.
Oh no. Okay. So 36 plus 6 is 42. Plus 3 is 45. Good God. Alright. So it's sitting it brings both its hands up to its nose as its blood is just draining. And Grelda just walks up, just kind of saunters up. She's still like red-faced and pissed off. She just kind of saunters up, hefts Sasha with one hand, and then just swings it across and just takes the ogre's head clean off. And it flies up, hits the ground, and rolls and lands against one of the anvils that the nearest ogre is working on, and hits it and actually stands straight up and is looking back at you with his broken nose still like curved to the side.
So that didn't kill him.
What? Yeah, it did.
That didn't kill. It did. Okay.
I said you cut his head off.
Oh,
so
I'm
I
sorry.
would assume he's dead.
I'm sorry I'm struggling so much with this. I also have a thing where if I kill someone, I get to do another attack, but I don't think I get to move between it.
Yes, you
or
do
maybe
not
I
get to move. Because I remember
Okay.
we kind of went through that before. So, as that ogre drops, it's still your turn. There's currently no hostile activity. So, if you want to continue hostile actions, that's your choice. If you don't do anything else, then combat is going to end because there's no other hostile actions going on.
All right, I would like to take a spare. There's been no hostile action on the parts of these dudes. I already noticed that on the way up. So can I just raise Sasha above my head and go, ooh,
what?
Do something, kind of if you're gonna do it now, but not actually making a movement towards them.
Okay.
All
right, so hold on a second. Now, so that is over. All right, so combat is done.
Okay.
As you raise Sasha and kind of flare, all the ogres kind of look at each other, and the one that the ogre standing next to the anvil that the head rolled on, it lifts its leg to the side, and you can see a shackle around its ankle. And then as you're now able to take a second, you see the shackle is connected to the bottom of the anvil. And as you kind of look around, you see that each ogre that is standing next to an anvil has the same kind of shackle on its legs.
Can I attack this shackles?
Recklessly?
Well, what do you...
I attack the gazebo.
Well, I guess just tell me what you're doing.
I guess Geralda does usually wait for Tarnan, but at this point she would put Sasha down and act less threatening and make sure Tarnan knew what she saw, since he's back there a little.
All right, yeah, it's not, since we're out of combat, the turn order isn't as much of a thing.
Where'd you stop? Tarnan says to Geralda, why did you stop?
They're slaves.
They're ogres.
They are enslaved people who have not attacked us.
And they're chained to their anvils.
Great, let's check everything else out then. I'm gonna go take a look inside there. Icky, you said something, or no, you said something about the other hallway?
Yeah, there was a whispered conversation. I didn't understand what they were saying, and it was really fast. But there was definitely someone else up there.
All right, I'll start sneaking my way up that way slowly. If you guys want to check out that other passageway quickly.
All right. Tarnin, give me a stealth check, and then while that's happening, what's everybody else doing?
Grelda's gonna check out the room with the anvils and stuff.
Okay. So,
Because we can't see everything in there yet.
so
I'll
as
come down and join the group.
yeah, I'll put everybody else right here for right now. Tarnin will be moving up. So as Grelda, as you walk into the room, you see that beside each anvil is a pile of swords and axe heads, and you can tell that they have been at this for a while. They are not quality implements, but they are still large swords and large axe heads made for ogres or larger creatures. And yeah, they're not good quality, but you can see that there is a large number of them.
All right, I think that would take me long enough that the rest of the group would probably do things in the meantime. So I'd like to come back to me later.
All right, what is everybody other than Tarnin doing?
Check out
Dyson,
Geisen.
Dyson's gonna cast, it's actually a skill version of the spell, comprehend languages. Well, actually, hold on just a second. Does that let me? Okay, maybe not. So, comprehend languages, I can just understand speech. Is that right? I can't actually communicate.
You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language. You understand written language. It does not say anything about you being able to speak it, just that you can understand it. All right. While you're thinking, Sanishi, Icky, what are you two doing?
Well, Tarnin told us to go check out the other hallway, right?
Where Grelda went?
I think he meant the south one.
Oh, then I guess I'll go in. I'll follow Grelda and kind of like stand where she is, and just kind of like wave hi to the ogres, like, hey guys.
As this large half orc comes in and waves hi, a couple of the ogres kind of raise their hammers and just kind of wave them back and forth at you. Everybody else is just kind of staring at everybody.
She's making friends.
I am trying, like, where are you guys from?
The one that Grelda is closest to, that had put its leg out, just kind of sets its tools down, looks up. We're from here. Barl didn't like us, put us to work.
I guess I'll follow in too.
Okay.
And ask if we find a way to free you, what would you do?
Get the hell up out of here. Find somewhere else to go.
Can you tell us how many other orc guards are in this cave?
Well, there's no orcs here, but if you go further, Barl's chambers are further down, and he points past where Tarnin's going. I know he's got a few guards with him. Not that he needs them. He's, taken care of a few of us without too much of a problem, but there's 3 or 4 in there with them.
Can you remind me, is Barrow the name? Is that the giant?
Barrow Breakbones was the name of the giant that took over the clan.
Does Geisen recognize, like, the shackles? Do they look like, what kind of metal? Or do they look like there's something that we'd be capable of breaking with?
They just look like large, I don't want to say run-of-the-mill, but like big, low-quality shackles. They don't look anything special. They don't look in great condition. They're just a lot larger than the average prisoner shackles you would know about or had seen in the past.
So then Grilda would say, if we release you, you go away from the human territories. And it's not really phrased as a question so much as like, that's how this is going to happen.
The ogre looks at the other ones.
If that's what it takes to buy our freedom, sure.
Do any of the dead bodies over there have a key for these shackles?
Barl's got the only key.
Do I think I can break them with Sylvia?
I mean,
You can absolutely. You think you can try?
I mean, I'm very strong.
If we freed you, any chance you'd want to rise up against your enslavers?
You're fading in and out again. Lars, is your machine?
I got what he asked. He asked if you're gonna rise up against the enslavers.
I've seen what Barl's done to the ogres that have crossed him. He ripped the arms and legs off our last clan chief. The last guard who wasn't paying attention, he did the same thing but left him out in the cold to die. I think I'd rather leave.
Get an evil grin on my face. This sounds like fun, guys.
Please, you said that out loud, right? And that they heard you.
Yes.
The ogre just like tilts its head.
Do orcs have a different definition for the word fun?
Yes. Grelda immediately answers with yes.
I figured.
Do I notice a weak spot, like where they're like attached to a wall or something, where there might be some
it's their ankles, and then it's directly connected to the bottom of the anvil that's sitting
on the
ground.
I mean, they have to have forges by them, so
There are, as you like, I think you can see a couple of them. There are a couple large fires within like reaching distance of them. There's not one for each of them, but there's 3 spread around. I think you can see 2 of them.
get the shackles into the fire. That should weaken the metal enough that they can hammer their asses out. Like, I don't even know if we have to help them as long as they're not guarded. I say that out loud too.
Jason gives a basic explanation of how metal can conduct heat. And that they might not appreciate having their shackles in the fire.
This is why you're the smart class.
You learned from the Greece incident.
All right, so we'll take a pause there. Bill, what did you roll for your stealth?
15.
15. All right, let me do something quick.
Although, I mean, let's be honest, those guys have noticed that the anvils stopped getting pounded on. Like, that shit's kind of noisy.
All right. Okay, so Tarnin, as you slowly move up, you get to about here. You peek your head around the corner. You hear a couple little quick whispers. It's just it's just 1 or 2 quick words. What languages do you know?
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay. You hear a couple of quick words in a language you don't understand. And as you peer your head around the corner, you do see one ogre with a couple of chains around its hands, and it's looking from the hallway to the side, further back to the side, and then back to you. And every couple of seconds, it just seems to keep making the same rounds, and it is facing directly at the opening. It doesn't seem to notice you as you're kind of peering around the corner.
What's to the left of me, to the southwest?
There is a continuation of the wall.
Oh, that's not another hall.
No, it's just the rock wall kind of. That's just features of the ground as opposed to like another hallway or anything.
Gotcha. So right now I'm hidden from him, basically?
Yes. You don't get the impression that he's seen you.
I will message back to Geisen. Or at least I'll try to, assuming he's still in range of where I thought he was.
Message is, what, 60 feet?
I think it's 120, but I need to double check. Give me a second. Message is 120 feet.
Then yeah, you're still good.
Okay. I messaged him. Found another one on guard, like the ones we've already killed. I'm engaging now. And after sending the message, I don't wait for a reply. I will use my surprise attack to steady aim to give me advantage. And then crossbow expertise and sharpshooter to get the plus 10 and fire.
Alright, then we will, since we're gonna start another encounter before we roll initiative, I think it would take like 5 minutes. It's been a little over an hour. And then we'll roll initiative. You will have a surprise round, like you will have surprise against them, but we'll still roll initiative to see what the order ends up being.
Okay.
Is everybody basically where I am in that room?
Yes. I'm using Grelda as the singular token for it, for right now.
Before I forget to ask this, is there not time for me to message back to him before he does this?
From what he said, it didn't seem like he waited for. It didn't seem like Tarnin was waiting for a response. It seemed like he just said it, and then he's gonna bring up his crossbow, step out, and take a shot. So you can message back, but they're going to happen like simultaneously, unless I'm misunderstanding you, Bill.
Nope, you're right on.
Okay. So once we get back, you can say what your reply is. I'll have Tarnin. I'll actually have everybody roll initiative. I'll just keep that on the side since you guys aren't directly involved in the battle yet. Oh, right there. Alright, so I was thinking about it as I was munching on some chocolate Teddy Grahams upstairs that I am stealing from Olivia since she's not here.
Wow, this is wrong.
They're delicious. I forgot how good Teddy Grahams were. Damn, I haven't had them in like 20 years.
Drink was wrong and stealing telegrams from Olivia.
And they're delicious.
Unbelievable.
So, like I said, as I was munching on Teddy Grahams, I was thinking, Bill.
Yes.
The ogres were expecting you and ready, so you will get advantage on your attack because you were in hiding, but they won't get the surprise condition because they were waiting for some kind of aggressive action.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
All right. So in that case, I need everybody to roll initiative for me, even though the rest of you are not in combat yet. And oh look, I can see all the initiative rolls. But I still want to write it down in case.
That is ridiculous.
It's so goddamn ridiculous. Even with it. Oh, Bill.
Bill, you're rolling like me.
All right. Icky with the 23. Ooh, this would be another wonderful addition. If you guys could roll initiative and it auto-populated, that would be fantastic. Actually, I did hear that that is something they are working on, is having
Disgusting.
like the rolls mix in with that. Alright, so Grelda is 21, Sneeshi is 11, Tarnin is 9, and Geisen?
9.
Guys, 9. Alright. Now that I wrote that down, let me put it in here. 9.
Tarnin, am I gonna have to get you a star?
Probably. I mean, I'm probably gonna make that work for these freaking digital rolls.
The first time I picked it up is when I did that like super amazing damage earlier.
What brings me luck in this damn house? Something, surely something. Cat, come here.
Cat, post haste. Alright, so... Alright, since we're doing in combat, Grelda, Icky, Grelda, Sneeshi, and Geisen all went before Tarnin. So, Geisen, what is going to be your reply message?
Well, I guess I probably wouldn't know that he was attacking before I could respond, so I would just tell him, hold on, let's come up with a plan.
Alright. So, as you say that, like as you're sending that back, you do hear the sounds of, like, a deep ogre surprise. You hear Tarnin make a little bit of noise. I will say, like, you guys do hear that something's going on. So, while Tarnin is doing his attack, hearing that, I will say that next round, since you guys would actually be surprised. So next round, when it comes back around, I'll bring you guys into the initiative order and you can start moving about if you would like. So Tarnin, even with your shit-tastic roll, you still rolled faster than all of the monsters. So you are...
Possible. Okay. So I'm
I relayed to the group what he said. I assume that's something I can do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
At the moment.
So you respond to him, you tell the group what he said, and then everybody collectively like hears what is going to happen, and then you can respond to it accordingly. All right, go ahead, turn it.
Sorry, Sean, did you say we would be surprised?
Yeah, you guys have the surprise condition this time, which means you guys just can't act. You guys don't do anything.
I can, because of feral instinct.
Oh. Okay. Well, then in that case, I will say
I can act normally, but I can't. If I enter a rage before doing anything else, ooh, that's a long distance. Never mind. I'm not gonna make it, so I can't waste rage.
Okay. In that case, Tarnin, you are
Uh,
up.
holding still gives me the advantage, or hiding actually gives me the advantage.
Yes.
Either way, I'm rolling with advantage to attack, minusing the 5, plusing the... Oh, come on.
Minusing the 5, plusing the 10.
Plusing the 10.
Okay.
And I will roll a second time because it didn't take the advantage. I must have screwed up on the... Oh, we got to reset it every time. Never mind.
Yeah, you have to click advantage every time.
Yeah. So the second one is worse. Did either one of those hit?
So the both of them hit.
Okay.
Right. Yes, both of them hit that ogre. Yes.
That ogre is then taking 10 plus 10 plus 3, so 23 and 6 is 29.
29? That includes your sneak attack?
That is with the sneak attack.
Alright. Alright,
On
so,
the first shot.
like I said, the ogre's kind of, like, it looks at you, it's looking to the side, it's looking behind it, and as its head turns back around, you had popped out when its head was turned sideways, and its head comes back around as the bolt digs, like, it goes through its shoulder and actually pops out the other side, and you can hear it hit the wall behind it. as its hand comes up and it just grabs its now just bleeding shoulder.
Okay, I will continue the onslaught. No longer have advantage, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so single roll. -5 is 18.
Okay. That does hit. Remember, you gotta tell me before you roll. Just FYI.
Okay, all 3 of these I'm doing that.
Okay, there you go. Alright, so that does hit.
So 10 plus a d6 is 14 plus 6 is 20.
20. Alright, so as its hand is up on its shoulder, it looks back at you. And as it looks back, the second crossbow bolt just buries itself right into its stomach. And it goes in, it disappears. But you just see blood start seeping out. And one hand is up here and the other hand grabs its belly, and it still has the chain on both of its hands, so the chain is just getting covered with red blood. It is definitely looking rough. It's not dead.
Not a problem. I will try my last -5 plus 10.
Okay.
Single roll is 12 hit.
12 does hit.
Okay, so 10 plus 3 is 13, plus 6 is 19.
19? Alright, so one hand on its shoulder, one hand on its stomach. It looks down, and as it looks down at its stomach, your last bolt goes right into the crown of its head, and it just continues forward and falls to the ground, dead.
Hold on, I gotta go check something before I gotta see if I can actually move after I use that steady aim. I don't think I can.
That, the +5, or the -5 plus 10 you can. There's one that gives you advantage without, and reducing your speed to 0.
Come on.
The sharpshooter does not affect your movement at all.
Steady aim as a bonus action. Oh, no. He's not dead. Take that last 19 back.
Okay.
I can't fire that third one as a bonus action. I've already used it for the steady aim. And I can't move. Okay.
Did you use steady aim?
Yes.
I didn't think
Yeah,
you
that's how I
rolled.
got advantage. No, well...
No,
I
you
have
got
to use
advantage
it.
on the first one from being in hiding. And you didn't roll advantage on either of the other two, did you?
No, I did not.
No, so you didn't use steady aim.
Oh, well then...
So
disregard
he
that. I
is
would-
dead, and you can move.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you didn't roll with advantage on either of the other two, so.
I will continue to pick forward. Carefully, getting ready to run backwards as soon as I see something else.
Alright, tell me when to stop.
Go, yeah.
Let me see. Nate, you might want to zoom out just a little bit.
That's ominous.
You want to talk about ominous? How about the fact that one of our cards is something about if a character dies?
I was expecting that.
Alright, there you go. So that's
Okay,
what you see
cool.
now. You tell me, do you want to keep moving?
Oh, I see something big just moving outside the range of my vision, yeah?
Alright, so I will tell you, this gigantic chamber extends into darkness sloping upwards between two wide ledges, on which loom statues with angular faces, stern brows, and strong jawlines. Above, the ceiling opens to a slate gray sky. The ramp leads up in tiers, finally coming to an end before what you're just seeing the side of an immense stone throne. And you are, from where you're at, you can see a gigantic arm and a huge hand just like encompassing one of the arm holds on that throne.
I do have a question.
Yes.
What made the ramp cry?
It was very sad that one of the ogres died.
Suddenly, without warning.
Yep. It was attached to that particular ogre. Alright, so, do you want to keep moving or do you want to go back?
I will use my remaining 20 feet to go back and hide, attempt to hide somewhere along the northern wall. If I can get into that divot there, that'd be great.
I would say you don't need to roll to hide here because nobody is. You don't have anybody who's like inside of you.
Okay, and I will end my turn at that point.
All right. Then. Okay. Sorry, I'm writing this down so I don't feel like I'm cheating. Hold on a second.
So basically, he's totally cheating. And just
Basically, that's what
That's the best way to make it seem like I'm not cheating is to tell you that I don't want to cheat.
It's true.
And him. Okay. All right. Da da da. Now, okay, so now we'll go back and Icky, it is your turn.
All right. God damn it. Icky will fix the. Oh, right, it is good. No, don't.
Don't log out. Hit escape. Escape. There you go.
All right, I'm getting out of this screen. All right, now I can't touch anyone.
Touchy.
So Icky will. How high is the ceiling here?
It is a cavern. I'd say about 30 feet.
Okay. So Icky will just take a running leap and fly down the hallway until he meets up with Tarnin. And once he holding the coin out ahead of him for light, once he sees Tarnin, it fly up and stop next to him.
So this is 55 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take you there.
Feel.
Right.
So then, something just happened.
What just happened?
I don't know. I heard a disconnect sound.
Yeah, my actual laptop died in the middle of all that, so this is me returning back on my laptop after it rebooting.
Oh, hi.
Okay. Oh, welcome back.
I thought you just decided we shouldn't look at you.
Hey. So I started what's up there?
Two more ogres, we've already taken down, and one something big sitting in a throne. Big arm. Big arm.
Big arm. He's all
big.
He's all big.
He big. All right.
See an Eye of Odin over there.
I guess then that Icky will just quick move forward 15 more feet, and then I'll end my turn there.
All right. 5, 10. We'll take you to there. All right. Then, if you are done, Grelda, you are up.
What does 70 feet get me?
70. Whoop. All right. 70 feet will get you. 50, 60, 70.
Alright, that's where I stop. That is my turn and my action. Movement and action both.
Move amante. All right, in that case, Sonishi, it is your turn.
Well, I am going to try to haul my slow ass there as well. So I will probably use both my movement action and my regular action to get 60 feet.
60 feet?
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, in that
I do find it hilarious that I can move further than the half-orc.
It's because you're pissed off.
This is accurate.
so I'm sorry, you said 60?
Yeah, because I should be able to do my movement twice.
That is where it'll take you.
I cannot see what you're clicking.
Why is it not
Right next to
updated?
Jordan.
You are right next to Tarnin. Why?
Okay, cool. It's
Can you? Oh yeah, there you go. It's just hard to see because it shows like the shadow.
yeah.
You're right here.
Oh,
I see it now.
Yep.
All right, cool.
All right, then that, if you don't have anything else to do, that would make it Geissen's turn.
I guess I'm just going to slowly trudge in that direction.
All right, how far can you get?
25.
25? All right.
I'm gonna do that twice.
I'll be there in a couple years.
Well, you can dash with your action to double that movement.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes, I would like to dash.
So that would
Yeah,
take you
that's how
50.
I moved as much as I did.
It looks like... There we go. Sinishi's token spawned. Alright, then... Sorry, hold on just a second. I need to do one thing, and then it'll be Tarnin's turn.
Arnin's terrific and terrible turn.
Tarnin's terrible turn.
Sit down, Euclid.
Where is it? Oh, that's why. Alright, sorry. Alright, Tarnin, you are up.
Try my luck at this again. I will sneak. 15 feet up, 15 feet forward, and do I see a target?
Sorry. There we go. Okay, so you want to move 15 feet, you said?
Yes. Hoping to see a target at that spot. I
Alright,
don't.
that's 15.
Okay, go northwest one more. Oh,
Yes.
hello. Do I see that one?
You see one very on the opposite edge, and then you see one kind of to your right.
I see the one at the right.
85. Alright, so with its held action, the one to the north is going to launch a large bolt at you. Yep.
And sneaking didn't help me.
He was staring at the entrance. He missed anyway, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter. But I mean, his held action was for when he saw somebody, and you did peek around the corner. So it would have happened. You would have had advantage on whoever you shot, but that was what his held action was. But he missed you, and okay, what are you gonna do?
So I lost the element of surprise, or I don't have.
No, you will still have advantage on the attack because you were hidden.
Well, the one really close to me is kind of freaking me out. That's the one I'm going to shoot at.
All right. I'm gonna say you need to go up one more, just because of the way the rock face is. I know with the way the walls are drawn, you can see him, but I would say you need to be there to actually shoot at him, and then you can shoot at him with advantage.
Okay, so how far am I moving then?
It's 5 more, so that's 25. Yes.
Yep.
And then, as you take that step forward, you do manage to see more of the stone.
That does not look like a stone giant.
You see Kanye sitting on top of. You see a very large Kanye the Giant sitting on his throne. He is leaned back. You do see that his one hand. That's what I was doing. I'm sorry. I forgot to make a Kanye token. So I moved Barl out of the way and put Kanye in there in his place. His right hand is sitting on the throne, gripping it, and you do see in his left hand is a very large stone, like a boulder, cocked back, and you're taking a step out. You're going to be able to attack, and then he's going to throw the boulder at you. Because he can see, you guys can see each other now. What was that?
Does the boulder look like a titty?
16 titties all mashed into one.
But God, I was worried that he was going to have 16 of those.
Yeah.
All right, so you go ahead and do your attack first.
Let's just do this. Rolling with advantage. Do it. Roll. Do it.
Do it.
I hate this thing. Oh, fuck. Hey, Sean, I'm doing a 3 thing again.
Okay. On all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
All right, so that is 15, and that does hit.
Okay. So,
You get your plus 10 and your sneak attack.
and for the sneak attack is 20, plus a d6 is 3, so 23 plus 6 is 29.
So, as you pop around the corner, you a very large crossbow bolt, about the size of your head, goes flying over and hits the wall beside you. You turn and you see this ogre with the chain around one wrist. His arm is pulled back like he's ready to hit somebody if they came close enough. But he just turns, he looks at you as you pop out, and as you let the crossbow bolt go, the chain is wrapped around its arm, and the crossbow bolt actually goes into its hand and disappears up into its forearm. And you just see like this hole and just blood coming down its upraised fist.
Okay, so as shots are exchanged, the one just barely misses me. Anyone who speaks Elven hears Tarnan say, "Ooh." And then he starts and attacks again.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, I did say shirts.
Shirts.
B is a good thing, right?
No, B is not a good thing. It's a terrible
It-
thing.
me?
You never want that.
What does it say?
Oh wow. Okay. Let me. Is that the right one? It is. All right. First, maximum damage. So tell me what
Okay,
your
so-
max damage on it would be. Your max damage for a crit.
20, 12, 18, 28.
28. Alright. 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 And then the second half of it says maximum damage, and you may make another attack with disadvantage against the same target. So,
Okay, I did it.
and this does not count as part of your you can attack 1,000 times a turn thing.
I can attack 1,000 times, but I do need to know, does that actually diminish my bolts by
No,
one?
it's your what? Your bolt numbers?
Yeah, the number of bolts are fired.
Yes, because you would be firing another bullet. Basically, the card is allowing you, if you want to make an additional attack for free with disadvantage, you can, but it does take away another. It is a bolt. It's not.
I have to still do the -5.
Yes. You would do it with disadvantage, but you can still do that, yes.
Well, if I don't want to do it with I want to do a disadvantage attack, but not have the -5 plus
Okay.
10.
You can tell me that. You can choose to or
telling
not
you
to
right
before
now.
you roll. Yeah, that's fine. As long
I'm
as you tell me
telling you
before you roll, that's totally fine. So roll with disadvantage. And how many bolts do you have left, anyway?
That's why I was asking. I now have 4 left.
Okay.
After this shot, I'll have 3.
Okay, so give me a roll with disadvantage.
I didn't hit disadvantage, so I ended up taking a 20 and a 6, and I'll take the 6, which is 16.
16 still hits.
Okay. So mark off the bolt. Do the damage, which is 1 plus 6 is 7 more.
7 more? Alright. So, your first bolt goes into its hand and disappears. And it looks at his hand. Your second bolt hits its neck and goes through, but kind of like sticks out like Frankenstein. And then as its head kind of like leans back as it's reeling from that attack, and your third one actually goes in its chin and sticks up, and then it just falls over backwards, dead.
So I don't need to attack it again. It's dead.
It is dead.
And I have a free bonus move still. I didn't use my bonus for that third attack.
No, so you just still have a bonus action.
If I move, does that boulder still come at me?
Yes, the boulder is coming at you, like, now.
Regardless. Okay, then I will take the dodge action with my bonus.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Okay.
What do you do?
What was that?
That's what do you mean you let me? That's what rogues do.
No, that is what. No,
Action,
I'm
I
saying
dodge.
I will let you use that bonus action before his readied action goes off. Because usually the readied action would happen as soon as he sees you.
Okay, if that's the way it's supposed to happen, you can do it that way. That's fine. I'll take my bonus action to do something else.
Okay. In that case, then let me see. How far is that? That is with disadvantage. Okay. So. Roll. Oh. Okay. So as you step out, he hurls this large boulder that's probably the size of you. It flies through the air, and it does end up going off target, and it veers off to the west and smashes into the wall kind of near you and just crumbles into a bunch of pieces.
Okay. As my bonus action, I will run away. I will move 5, 10, 15, 20 feet and go on the other side of the road and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And, wait a minute. Do I have 5 feet of movement left?
You just moved 25 to get here.
So I got 5 feet of movement. We can hide up against that wall to the southeast and attempt to hide.
Not to the southeast. There's not enough room for you to stand there. You can go here.
That still wouldn't afford me to hide.
It would not afford you to hide. No.
I'll continue to move 20 foot back. So I'm standing on the other side of the ground and say, "Hi, how you doing?"
What? Just out of curiosity, could he have moved into that little niche?
He could have tried, yeah. He could have moved in there. He could have tried to use it to hide, yeah.
Okay. Just point of curiosity.
All right, so your turn is done.
I have 3 bolts remaining.
All right, so the ogre with the crossbow is gonna move here. Is gonna see Icky, but Icky can't see because you're a blind bird.
He's got 20 foot of light, I thought.
If he holds it up.
Oh, okay.
But this ogre is 90 feet away from you. So it is going to attack you.
This battle is very confusing for Icky, and he has a great deal of trust for us.
Tell me where to go, guys. What's Icky's armor class?
19.
Ah, fuck. All right. So you're Icky. You're standing there and you can't see shit. Like you can see Grelda next to you, and you saw Tarnin like a blur move by you, but you're just kind of looking around, and then you just hear this like whoosh, like sound of something moving quickly, and you just like you're looking at Grelda, and you just take a half step towards her, and then Grelda behind him, you just see this large bolt just fly right through where he was, and like smack into the wall next to him, and he just like.
DM, I'd like to do a quick retcon for flavor.
Okay.
Instead of just coming back and saying hi, I look at Icky and I'm passing him and say, well, one left and something really big. Really big.
He's big.
Well, I killed one.
Just for flavor, Geralda's eyes get real big when that happens, and she just goes, "There was a bug."
That was the biggest bug I've ever seen.
Yeah. Like, he clearly would have, felt and heard that. What the shit?
What the shit?
All right, let me double. Ooh, I gotta check on this. What? Ooh, no. What was I gonna do? Is that? That's what I was gonna do. Oh, that's on. Never mind.
I don't like it when he does math, y'all.
We'll be all right.
No.
Just means we'll get an extra break tonight.
What? There we go.
I'm excited because it's getting close to being square.
All right. And then. Okay. Icky, it's your turn.
So Icky will, holding the coin out in front of him to see as best he can, will move.
All right, let me illuminate it for you.
Oh, hold on a second, Sean. Isn't Geisen after Tarnin?
No, Geisen's after Sanishi.
Oh, my
Geisen's
bad.
just before Tarnin. Alright, dim is 40, bright is 20. That's what you see. Alright.
There. Stab it.
Oh, I'm surprised it doesn't let you see.
Why is he selected like that? What have I done?
Okay, I fixed it. Cool, thank you. So I will, what do I have to do to map thing?
Just click and hold.
I would like to go there, please.
Alright, so I will 5,
Oh, Jesus.
10.
Icky will hold up. Icky will hold right the fuck up.
Yes, you see a very, very large creature that has the in the dim light that your coin is casting.
Just call back. Oh, Lord, he coming!
Oh, loud! And actually, sorry, he was holding his action. So as soon as you step into that, a very, very large rock, a boulder, is going to come hurtling towards you.
Okay.
Like a rock bigger than what we usually ride?
It probably is about the size of what you usually ride. No,
Damn.
it's a boulder. It's about the size of. Actually, if you took Grelda and like spun her around so she made a circle, that's about the size of the rock that is flying at you. And
Exactly the way that birds don't.
and what is your armor class again?
19.
That is a 21. All right, so this giant boulder comes flying at you and does.
Is this considered a ranged weapon attack by chance?
It is. I will. You actually absolutely do it, and we will see what your roll is versus what the damage of this giant boulder is.
All right, let's do it. Gonna use that key point to use deflect missiles.
Is that a key point?
Yeah, it's a key point.
Oh, okay.
All right, wait.
No, it's a reaction.
Oh no! Yes, the reaction. It's the spending of a key point to, if I successfully negate the damage, throw it back.
Yep. All right, so it is is reduced by 1d10 plus 14. If you reduce the damage to 0, the damage is reduced. Okay, so roll a 1d10 for me.
So I just gotta find where to just do a roll.
On the bottom left, there should be a little like red and white die. Click that, and it'll open up a menu, and you can just click
1d10.
and then just click roll at the bottom.
Six, so plus 20.
So 20? Okay, so this giant boulder comes. So Grelda is seeing all of this. Grelda sees Icky take a couple of steps forward and then just stop, and his feathers kind of plump out a little bit, and his hands come up, and you see him like bracing himself. And almost in slow motion, you see this gigantic boulder come in, and Icky's talons go out and hit it and start to slow it down, and then it slams into his chest. And you did, so that was 20, so you reduced it by 20, so you only take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
You gotta roll with that. Roll with it. Roll with it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was a strength check.
Yeah, I need a strength saving throw.
There it is.
There you go.
Oh, goody.
Better, but not good enough. So, as you do slow it down so you don't take the full impact of it, you slowed it down significantly. But it still hits you, and it hits you in the chest, and it actually knocks you over prone backwards. So you are now laying on the ground prone, and the boulder like hits you and kind of rolls off to the side.
Okay.
Your turn isn't over or anything like that. You have just been knocked prone.
Right. What's my thing? I can use. I think it's just a feature that I can use 5 movement to get.
Yeah,
up.
I think because you got to a certain level.
Oh, you might just know it.
Tipsy sway. When you're prone, you can stand up by spending 5 feet of movement rather than half your speed. And if a creature misses you with a melee attack roll, you can spend a key point to cause the attack to hit a different creature. So yeah, instead of using half your movement, you can spend 5 more and stand back up.
I will do that.
Okay, so that was 5, 10. So that's 15 of your movement have been used.
Okay. Icky looks back over his shoulder at Grelda, grins, and runs at the giant.
All right, this will be third. Whoops, that was a measurement. That's 30 more feet of movement, and you are standing in front of a very large stone giant that is 30 feet tall. Or I'm sorry, he's 25 feet tall. The roof is 40, and then as it goes back over the throne, it opens. So he is looking down at you as you come up to him.
Right. Can I use my remaining flight movement to go around him and move within striking distance of the ogre?
So 15. That was 45.
Total flying, I have 90 movement.
Yes.
Okay.
You probably move the map if you wanted, so you can zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, I will. We'll do that.
Now that we've kind of... And yes, you are within range of the other ogre.
Alright, well, I'm going to attack that ogre then.
All right.
Me 3?
23 hits.
All right, 10 damage.
All right, go ahead and roll your second one.
Ooh. 12. Oh, that hit. Yeah.
12 does not hit.
It's not a hit. What the shit? All
This
right.
this is a different ogre than the different. This is a different kind of ogre than the one you've been fighting. So no. So as you get back up and run up and see this giant that is 3 times your size, you kind of like hop sideways around him until you see the other ogre, and then you look at him, look down to the creature that's half his size, give him one nice crack across the face, and as you go with the second one, he actually brings up his giant crossbow, and you end up just smacking right into the wood.
Remind me, if I use a key point to attack again here, can I also use a key point on that action to activate Stunning Strike?
I
Or
don't
can I not
believe
use-
Stunning Strike... Yes, you can, because Stunning Strike costs a key point, but Stunning Strike does not take a bonus action.
Okay, cool. So in that case, I'm going to use a key point, turn around, and hit Kanye.
All
Or at
right.
least pray that I hit Kanye.
All right, give me your first roll.
Go around every now and then. Oh,
All right, that
Wait. Oh, too late. Never mind.
What?
I just was thinking about cards, but I've already rolled.
You've already rolled, yep.
Oh, I've rolled 1, but I have another D20 roll.
You
coming.
do.
Yes, I do. So I will take inspiration.
All right. All right, do that second one with advantage.
do that thing.
And then you guys got 3 more cards.
There as well that I could have taken.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, okay. 23.
23 does hit.
All right.
So roll for damage first.
Okay, so 9 damage.
All right, let me just double check on something. All right. Okay, that's not. Okay, so you said 9 damage?
Yes.
All right, and what is the saving throw?
A con saving throw. You need to beat 14.
14. It is a 19. So,
Sorry.
you take a step to the side, and you swing once, and your first one does connect with them, but as you hit, you hit part of some very tough spots, some built-in armor, and your fist just bounces off of it. The second one you fully connect, and you can actually see him move just a little bit, but he barely registers. You barely see a reaction at all.
All right. I guess that's going to be my turn.
All right, Grelda, you are up.
Alrighty. If I were to be in the spot the southeastish of the giant that I could possibly be, would I get flanking?
No.
Fling in.
Man,
Let me see.
He's all big.
He's all
He's
big.
like, yeah, he's all big. Thank you.
No. From where the giant is now, the 2 spaces that the ogre is occupying are the 2 spaces I would give you flanking on.
Wait.
All right. Let me ping it. If you moved here,
Yes.
I would give you flanking on either of these 2 spaces, both of which the.
I see. Okay.
So Icky is just off of where I would give you flanking on.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it would be a weird ask to be on the other side of the giant. So you're just gonna go.
Well, I mean, you could always give the giant an attack of opportunity against you as you kind of move around.
I don't think I'll do that. I think I'm not do that actually. Maybe.
Maybe.
So I get 35 speed naturally, and then I'm going to click fly into a rage, which
5,
gives me
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'll take you there.
Really? Oh, I counted one more. It doesn't matter because instinctive pounce gives me half of my speed additional to that.
Okay. There you go.
So I'm just gonna go right south of Icky.
Right there?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I am going to. Oh, actually, just real quick for flavor before I did that, I forgot I was going to do this because I got all excited. I was going to basically say out loud, kind of full volume, "This is the coolest group in the world," and then I'm going to zoom in.
And then you're going to charge.
Because, like,
And then-
he just dodged a freaking boulder. He took a boulder to the chest and then got up and kept going. There are 2 dead bodies in this room that only Tarnin has touched. Like, this is pretty cool. And we literally haven't even asked Geisen to use a fireball yet. Lord only knows what happened.
Doesn't matter how big the room is.
Guys, we're just waiting for you to say that. Did you say fireball?
All right, then I am going to attack Kanye.
Okay.
I'm going to do so recklessly, and I'm going to do so with the -5 + 10.
All right.
There are no objections to this plan of actions. Oh. Right click, advantage, go. Thank goodness for advantage. 20.
20 hits.
Da-da-da. All right, hold on. Where's my little star at? Oh no, I lost my star. There it is. Okay. Yes! 29 ouches. Ooh, the big guy.
Damn. All right, go ahead and roll your second one.
I forget that I get a second. Same thing with the +5 + 10.
Okay. You do not get advantage on this one, though, right?
I should. Yeah.
When you
Oh,
make
and
advantage on melee attacks. Oh, never mind. Yep. I'm sorry. It just says you decide on your first attack. Never mind. Go ahead.
okay, and then am I too late to say that I also wanted the Sasha ability to Kanye doesn't get to advantage
no.
on me?
No, you're not too late for that. I assumed that you would pick him.
Yes. Well, he's the only one who can reach me now, so it was an easy pick.
May I recommend we use Sasha to find his Alizé?
I've tried multiple times. They say the closest one is in Turtleback Ferry. It's ridiculous.
It's for goddamn ridiculous.
It's
This is
goddamn
clearly
ridiculous.
not the real Kanye.
How can you have an entire stronghold with no alcohol?
Well, now that you're this close, it's you're pinging that it's coursing through his veins.
I wish to drink the blood.
Whoever does the killing blow, but make sure not to kill him because we need to find out where his mixtape is.
It's in his SUV.
Yeah, we haven't looked for the SUV yet. That was the problem. All right, here we go. Oh, she a 20. She a natural 20.
Oh my god. All right. All right. Maximum damage. Wait, is that? These icons are so small. Yes, your max damage.
And max damage with that extra
With the
thing.
10.
With the extra, what was it called? Where I get to roll the extra dice.
Yes, because you had
Brutal critical.
Brutal critical, yes. So it's your D12 times 3, which was 36, plus 6, which is 42, plus your raging, which is 45.
Yep.
So every time you roll a crit, it's going to be upwards of. All right.
Plus 10, right?
What was that?
Isn't there an extra 10 because she did the -5 thing?
Oh,
Yes,
yes. Thank you.
that's right.
This is why we keep Lars around.
Not for
That-
So you run up and you are looking at his shins because of how big he is compared to you, because he's all big. So you just give Sasha a couple taps in your hand, and you just swing back and forth. Your first swing cuts through the natural stone armor on his leg, and you open it up and you do see a little bit of blood. But your second one, you cut deep into his leg, and you actually feel it hit bone as you drag it across. And that's the first time either of you see a reaction out of him. And you actually see him, his head jerk back, and he grimaces in pain, and he growls down at you.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh, but I'm quite sure that he did.
I've cut down trees bigger than you.
I mean, frankly, most of us have.
All right.
This concludes Relda's turn.
Well, in that case, it is Sinishi's turn.
All right. Well, I am going to take my 30 movement, moving further into the space.
20, 25, 30. And then Geisen is up next.
I am going to try the Dissonant Whispers again on Kanye.
Alright, that is a Wisdom 13.
Wisdom.
That is 19.
Okay, well, fine then. You don't get pushed back, and you.
Alright, so yeah, mark off another spell slot.
Much damage.
But what was that?
Half as much damage.
Honestly, it takes half as much damage and doesn't move away. Alright, so then you roll the 3d6.
Really?
What do we get? The Evan. Alright, so as you come up and turn the corner and see this huge creature towering over this little itty bitty Grelda, you look up and you begin to sing your super sweet song to him. And you see his head just kind of twitch to the side.
Damn it, the song's not getting on his nerves. I'm sorry, guys.
I have to make it more annoying.
Getting up my nerves.
No, Jill, I knew exactly which song. You don't have to sing it. I knew it when you said it.
Alright, anything else you would like to do, Jill?
Bonus action, I want to prepare to dodge.
I don't think you can dodge as a bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Dodging is an
then.
action unless you have an ability that allows you to use it as a bonus action.
That's one of those rogue things. I can use.
Yeah, I just take the hits. Alright, no,
Better you than me. I mean, honestly, Sinishi's probably the one that's going to actually do the thing like Icky and literally catch it. She might take full damage, but she'll catch it and say, "Now what?"
What now, bitch? All right. So as your turn ends, Geisen, you are up, but in that in between section, everybody does see Kanye. He begins to mutter under his breath, and Grelta and Icky hear him rapping something about my mixtape and my SUV, and you hear the word Alizé twice. And then you see his skin kind of darken in color. And Geisen, you're up.
So I'll move 25, getting closer. Is there anywhere that I can have line of sight to
5,
them?
10, 15, 20. 25 will put you there. I'm gonna say no. I know what it's showing, but
He's so like gigantic. There's really no part of him.
so big. No, with the way the rock is outcropping, I would say that you don't really have line of sight to him. If you could move,
I thought I counted and he could go one more to the west.
let me can I undo? There we go. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay, never
This
mind.
is 25. Let me ruler it. No, I really don't know. If you could move 5 more, another diagonal, I would say you could. But from there, I just with the way that outcropping is, I would say you couldn't see them.
Seemingly random question. Can you remind me the pit that we crossed as we came in? What was that?
That was. Let me read it. It was a deep pit hewn from hard stone. It descends into soot and darkness with a stale reek of decay that wafts up from the depths below.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just heard zombie pit.
What?
I just heard zombie pit.
That'd be good. I am going to use my bonus action to Misty Step.
Oh, okay.
I guess just one space. Seems
All
ridiculous.
right. Mark off a second level spell, and then you misty step to there.
It's actually a single use ability.
Oh, is it? It's one. Oh, it's one of your features. That's right. Because you've got your Fey touched. Yep. Okay. So go ahead and mark off that single use feature.
And then I'm going to attempt to polymorph Kanye.
Hold on a second. Alright. It does say that you can cast Misty Step without using a spell slot, but it still takes an action to cast it, so you would only be able to cast.
Really? Because I thought Misty Step was a bonus action.
Alright, I misspoke. You use your bonus action to cast it, but you can't cast 2 leveled spells in a turn unless you have an ability that allows you to do that. So you use your bonus action to cast a leveled spell. You can only cast a cantrip as your action.
Well, shit. Okay, well then never mind. I will not cast Misty Step.
Okay.
You do quick like acrobatics check to see if you can like stumble forward 5 feet but recover.
Can I like lean? I have my spell book.
You do.
I forgot all about that, so I can just use that. Right? I'll just have that 5 feet, and I'll cast through that.
Wait. There you go. I made you a spellbook token.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was supposed to pick out a.
No, I know, but you didn't, so I did.
It's all right. Well, now I will try to polymorph Tiny.
All right. So a wisdom 17 saving throw. You know what? I'm gonna do this out here so everybody can see. 24. Look at that! That's the I think that's the first time in 3 years that I have rolled something so everybody can see. But yes, he does make the saving throw against your polymorph.
I don't think I can see it. Can
Yeah,
anyone see it?
I can see it.
Oh,
Where?
Should be under Sanishi. Just should be.
oh, I see. I see it. I just scroll down.
Yeah. Make sure you like scroll down both the browser window and the side tabs view thing.
Yep.
So yes, he does make a save against your polymorph, Kaisen.
You see a little
Wait, do we have a card? Do we have a card we can use? Because I really want him to be polymorph. This is so fun.
You have feint, all or nothing, and dramatic exit.
A feint has been used.
No, you used. Oh yeah, you used feint. You didn't use fumble. My bad. No, you used fumble because you forced an enemy to reroll an attack. So feint is still available. All or nothing, and then dramatic exit.
All right. I tried.
It's a good thought. Yeah, you just see a little tear fall down Bison's cheek, and then that's the end of his turn.
All right, with that, it is Tarnin's turn.
Move me 30 feet towards the giant.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Actually, can I'm assuming they're like statues on the sides here.
Yes, they were those statues with angular faces, stern brows, and strong jawlines.
And the ones directly south of him, like the second one south of him, can I get there and use that as cover?
Okay, so this is 30 feet. You can get behind it. They're about 8 feet tall, so you can get behind it. It's not like big enough for you to stand behind it and not be seen.
No, but it'll give me partial cover.
That would give you partial cover, yes.
Okay, but I can't get there.
Not with 30 movement, no.
You sure? Where was I standing?
Boom, boom, boom. So, 10. Oh, you know what? I will actually go back. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. If you go that way. There we go.
Okay. Taking up partial cover. I will fire my last 3 bullets in succession. I don't get advantage because of things, right?
Yes, there are no things that give you advantage right now.
Blah, 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 blah.
Attack, right?
Say again?
You get sneak attack damage, though, right?
You would get sneak attack damage.
Okay.
Yes, you just don't get advantage on your roll.
Yep, so it'll be 3 straight roll. Oh, fuck, is there anything else I can really do to help?
You do have the all or nothing. 3 years in, and nobody's used it yet.
Yeah, because it's all or nothing. It's that whole nothing thing.
But other than that, no. It would just be straight rolls. You can use your +5, -5 +10, but it would just be straight rolls.
Well, one, my wizard would love it if he had the... If this thing had a penalty to its rolls. For that matter, it might save some of my melee individuals. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna use my Eldritch Invocation and cast Bane on both their targets. Bane, up to 3 creatures, actually at my level, up to 5 creatures of my choice that I can see must make charisma saving throws.
Whenever a target fails a saving throw, makes an attack or saving throw before the spell ends, it'll still D4 and subtract the number. All right.
Saving throws and attack rolls, he has a minus D4
Okay, so charisma saving throws. All right.
for both of them.
All right, let's do Barl. Oh, it doesn't have a bonus on it. All right. What do I have to roll?
17.
17. All right, Barl failed.
Well, maybe. I mean, like, assistance.
And okay, they both fail. So they both have they both have Bane on them, which is a concentration. So I will put a little thing here so you know you're concentrating.
Yep. So that was my movement. That was my action. Bonus action. Can I hide there? Can I attempt to hide behind an 8-foot statue as a 6-foot human?
Not with how thin it is. Like I said, there's no way you can not be seen behind it. You do not have the physical abilities to be thin enough to hide from his sight behind that statue.
Okay. As my bonus action, I will dodge anything that comes my way the rest of my turn.
All right. All right. With that,
Also, as part of that bonus action, I yell, "Where's the ascendant, you motherfucker?
what did you say?
Black dog!"
All right. All right, but he has. He is going to.
This look is for you, Tammy.
All right, sorry. All right, so he is going to take a. Which one would be better? I don't know. That's not good. All right, he is going to try and punch Icky in the face.
Ooh.
The bolt launcher org that is standing next to Icky, because if he tries to attack Grelda, he is going to do it with a disadvantage. So he's just going to try and punch Icky in the face.
Icky ain't having that.
What's Icky's armor class?
19.
Then Icky isn't having that. So he levels his bolt launcher at Grelda, but with Icky moving in front of him, he just ends up taking a swipe at you and you just duck under it. And then as you come back up, your feathers pop up and you're just like...
Can Grelda take offense to that in a sentinel type of manner?
No, because
No,
it's not
but
moving.
Icky can.
Wait, I thought the attack was against Icky.
It is against Icky.
Well, Sentinel says when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon.
The ogre is not within 5 feet of you.
Oh, I thought it was Kanye. Okay.
No, it's not Kanye. It's the ogre. But Icky is right that he does have an ability that he can try and use.
Yeah.
TFC Shui, if you want to use a key point.
Yeah.
I'm weighing that.
It's a key point and it's your reaction, just so you know.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
All right. Okay, so that attack, I'm assuming that you're gonna want it to hit Barrow Breakbones. So then let me roll damage. All right, so that's 9. All right. All right, so as he's trying to get a beat on Grelda, he just angrily reaches back and tries to swing the crossbow at Icky, and you duck, but you use your claw to keep the momentum going, and the crossbow just smacks right into the hip of Barl, and Barl just looks down at you and then looks down at him and just shakes his head and then looks back at Grelda.
Oh, it's fine. We're against Disney villains, y'all. Fine.
And that is his turn. All right, next is Kanye. And Kanye is going to attack Grelda with his club for...
Not advantage.
Not advantage. What's
Minus
your
a
armor
D4.
class?
19,000.
Minus a D4.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's a 27, but I will still
Ouch.
roll the d4 anyway. Which was a 3, so it's 24.
Yeah, that hits.
And that does 26 half, so that does 13 bludgeoning damage to you.
All right.
And that was his first attack, and then he's going to use the second attack to attack Grelda again. -4. Takes it down to 21. Or minus a d4. Which it rolled 3, takes it down to 21, which still hits. Nope, that's not what I wanted to roll.
Thanks, Icky. You stunned the music into silence.
There we go, I was just switching. Alright. So that is 26. That's another 13 damage.
Ouch.
And he is going to take his third and final swing,
How can he be so fast? He's so big.
which is 29 minus 4, so 25. And that is going to be another 13 bludgeoning damage to Grelda. So as he looks down at you, he just takes his giant club and just pound, like actually, like the first one hits your shoulder, kind of knocks you to the side, and the second two just knock you further into just the ground, and dust is flying up, and he is just growling intently, and it's echoing in the room as he takes each of those swipes at you. And then he is going to...
Before he does whatever it is he's gonna do, just for flavor, Grelda spits some blood out and says, "I did more damage than that to you." That's all.
Nice. Alright, well, he is actually going to back away. That's not... Oh, that's one. There we go.
You better run.
To
Wait,
here.
backing away.
Yes.
I would like to take it. The Sentinel opportunity attack.
Alright.
Alright, so I don't have to do anything special, it's just a straight attack.
Just a straight roll. Yep, your straight Sasha roll.
Yep. No advantage, no nothing, so... Oh, honey. Oh.
No.
It's just a 12.
So you're trying to swing as you stand up, but he manages to get his leg out of the way before Sasha goes. I will... Oh, wait. Icky already used his
Yep, I
reaction.
used my reaction.
That's right. Alright. So he backs up to there. Icky, your turn.
I'm gonna get a little bit of claw action in on this.
Little claw.
Little bit of little claw on this ogre. 23.
That is.
Slash. For a 10.
10. Alright, go ahead and roll your second one.
16.
16 hits.
Ah.
It's harder to hit than the other ones, but not a whole lot harder.
8.
Alright. So After his crossbow hit Barl, he kind of like cowered away a little bit, and as he's looking up, you take that opportunity and do 2 quick uppercuts to his jaw that smashes it together. And the first one, his head flips back, and the second one, you see 4 teeth just go flying, and one actually kind of hits you in the face, falls on the ground.
Can I use that a deflect missile attack to fire that back at him?
You know what? It won't do any damage, but if you want to like grab it from the air and flick it back at him, I would totally like flavor that, because that's super awesome. You like uppercut him, the teeth are flying, the 3 fly out to the side, but it's like Neo in Matrix with a bullet. It's slowly coming at you, and you just grab it and just like flick your wrist, and it comes back and it just like hits him in the eye, and he just goes ah,
And that kills it. Because it was his cyanide teeth.
and the cyanide soaks into his eyeball, it gets into his bloodstream, and he slowly dies.
This is not an episode of Dune, Nikki.
I think that'll be all it does for now.
All right, in that case, Grelda, you're up.
Having him between me and Neo and Gagne.
All right, I'm sorry. So now that I'm back, Grelda, what is this 60% dead Grelda gonna do?
Your 70% dead Grelda is definitely not dying, and unfortunately cannot make it all the way to Kanye because her magic anger speed has been used up already.
Just like the angry water.
Build a thing on the way. Get rid of it.
Say that again? What?
Build a thing that's on the way to Kanye.
Yeah, I know, but that's such a wussy thing. I want to kill the big thing. That's a really big thing. Kill the big thing.
It's all big.
Anyway, he's all big. Anyway,
It's like he probably has a size complex.
they called me small. Tanisha,
Wait,
they
he's
called me
got
small.
a point at you guys. Here you go.
All right.
Technically.
Hold on. I gotta read something real quick before I make my choice. What's the direction of the nearest source of alcohol? Is Alizé pumping from that cut in his leg?
It is more prominent from the cut in his leg. The closest source of actual drinkable alcohol is still back at Turtleback Ferry, but you can tell that Kanye has a lot of Alizé. He's a very big guy, so it takes a lot of alcohol for him to feel anything.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go.
So he's probably like, if he was taking breathalyzer, he's probably blowing like a 3.5 right now.
So, I should have enough speed that I can at least flank this. Are they ogres now? I've forgotten what they're not. They're not orcs. They are ogres.
They
Can I
are
flank the
ogres.
ogre?
Yep.
All right. Little flanky flank. And that should give me advantage without using reckless attack.
Yes.
All right. So I will take the advantage from flanking. I will do the -5 + 10.
Okay.
Right. Not attacking recklessly. Is there anything else I keep forgetting to say that I'm doing? Nope, we're just doing it. All right, ready? Oh wait, no. Hold on, one more thing. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Nope, we're good. That's it. Advantage attacking the ogre. 21 -5.
16. That hits.
Yeah. Alright, so 15 + 10 + 3. 28.
All right. So you as this ogre is like rubbing his eye from where his own tooth hit him. He kind of loses sight of you and you come around behind him and you just bury Sasha into his back, like most of the way into his back, kind of yank it out, and you pull out skin. His wound is like wide open. It's bleeding profusely. He is like swaying, but he is still standing.
All right, second verse, same as the first.
Finish him.
Oh, 20. What's going on?
Okay, well, he's dead. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Let's
There,
ignore the math.
We're
and just
not
say
gonna
he's
math.
dead.
No math.
Yeah.
No math.
No math.
As he like one hand is on his eye and he kind of reaches back like this to try and touch the wound in his back. You pull Sasha out and then come in from the side and you cut off his arm and then bury Sasha into his chest halfway. So his arm kind of falls to the ground and then he's being held up by Sasha until you pull Sasha out and then he just like drops straight to the ground like a ragdoll.
Geralda is still angry, but she feels a little bit of satisfaction now. That is.
Is there anything else Grelda would like to do with this
This
satisfaction?
concludes Geralda's turn.
All right, Sanishi, you are up.
Satisfaction. I'm gonna move forward towards, the dude.
How far?
I mean, as far as I can, so 30 feet.
That'll take you there.
Sweet. Okay. Now, I choose to cast Fairy Fire. The area that has Kanye.
Alright, so... oh, yeah, that is within your 60 feet. Alright, so what does Fairy Fire do?
Wait, what?
What does Fairy Fire do?
It is each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. My choice, I choose purple. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails, a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Alright, did you say purple or pink?
Purple. Pink is not an option. It's only blue, green, or violet.
And that lasts how long?
It's concentration and lasts up to a minute.
Brilliant.
If this works, I literally see Icky just turning to the team and going, "Could you have done that the whole time?"
Alright, so a dexterity saving throw for Kanye. Alright. So what do I have to beat?
You have to beat 13 dexterity.
13. He rolled a 16.
Oh.
Minus a D4.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. So 16 minus 1. So 15.
Lies!
You talk to D&D Beyond, good sir. All right. So does anything happen if he saves against it? No.
He just doesn't glow,
Oh,
and so he's not affected, I guess.
You know what? We're still gonna outline him in purple because it's fun. I gotta say the like 20 by 20 squares and all of like the spell markers are so much easier in Foundry than they were in Roll20. That's just me as the DM liking it. All right, is there anything else you would like to do, Sanishi?
And curse a bit, and I can't use a bonus action to move, so I'm gonna pout.
All right, Geisen, you are up. Tarnan, you are next.
Pouting.
John, to help me determine what I'm going to do next, can you tell me if I can see Kanye where he's at?
Not
Okay,
from
cool.
there.
Not from there. Got
Not
it.
from there, no. Geisen.
So it's the one with the spell book, so it's within 60 feet of Kanye.
How far can the spellbook move?
I really don't remember.
I know I feel like we do this every week. Or every session. Really need to write this down somewhere. Alright, hold on a second. So I want to say it would be like 30, but I feel like 30 is what we've been doing. All right. All right, hold on. So we're going to go with 30. Let me write down a reminder.
For some reason, I feel like outside the orc cave, or not outside the keep.
Oh.
Dyson moved the book really far because it was decided.
So I think he could like bring it to being so far from himself, and then it could move as well. So I think that's how he got it that far initially. So like he brought it in like 30 feet away from him, and then it moved 30 feet or something like that. But when I have more time, I'm going to have to actually dig into. I really need to take the time to figure out exactly how that interaction works, since you use that all the time. But we're gonna.
30 feet.
How much?
30 feet, you're right.
Haha! Yes. Nerd brain for the win. All right, so that puts it there, and that is 45 feet away. Or no, that's Sanishi. That is exactly 60 feet away.
You try the same thing again and try to polymorph.
You're gonna try and polymorph again. All right. How many 4th level spells do you got left after that? What was that? I'm sorry, your audio's cutting out.
One more after this one.
Okay. All right, so that is a wisdom saving throw. And just because it's fun, I'll make it public. That's a 14. So that's a fail. So what is Kanye getting polymorphed into? Is he getting polymorphed into 16 titties?
See that as an option, so I'm gonna go with a frog.
That's no. Let me go here.
I might specify bullfrog so that it doesn't he doesn't go choosing like poison dart frog or something.
Just a regular frog.
A regular poisonous dart frog or a abnormal poisonous dart frog?
These are the things you need to consider.
Yes. Oh my God, it's in there. Okay.
Poisonous dart frog? That's great.
As this happens, I yell out.
Do you see the little frog?
Nope.
Oh, that's because it's in the wall. There we go.
Jesus.
As I do this, I yell out, "Nobody attack it!"
Okay, you might need to zoom in, but your little frog is right there.
And then I'll. Well, are we still in combat?
I guess it depends if anybody is attacking the frog. You make this. It was you. Once your turn is over, it's Tarnin. If Tarnin doesn't do anything aggressive, I'm going to say combat end. Does the frog get any like saving throws along the line, or let's
I
see?
think so.
Does attempting to catch the frog count as combat?
As long as S16 forms.
Would that be athletics or dexterity?
Transform. No, the transformation lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. So he is a frog for up to an hour, or whenever you guys attack him. And I need to find out what the hit points are for a frog.
1/2.
The amount of things I have had to look up.
It's 1/2. It's 0.5. You can kick it to death.
So guys, then just make sure that everybody hears don't attack the frog.
Listen, how are we gonna
It has 1 hit point. Like literally, like it has. There are stats for a frog. It has dark vision. Its jump is 10 feet in the air. Its high jump is 5 feet with or without a running start. This is fantastic that D&D has stats for a fucking frog. All right. So, let me change the music as we roll out of combat.
What are the plans? How are we going to kill it? How are we going to talk to it? How am I going to find out where the Ascendant is? How are we going to kill it?
I overlap it.
So I message Icky and I ask him to gently pick up the frog.
Alright. Icky goes over and then gently picks up the frog and keeps it a little protected in his claw.
And then I yell out to everybody, meet me at the pit.
Okay. Then I will.
Is the title of this episode "Meet Me at the Pit"?
It is now. Sorry, must write down. I will forget. Meet me at the pit. Alright, so we will move the frog and Geisen over to the
I'm
pit.
gonna follow, still just laughing my ass off.
Is anybody not following? We'll go with that.
Has become
I
homeless.
didn't follow, but I walk up to Grelda first and I unload my sword spells from my regular spell storing. She gets 2 cured wounds at level 1.
Alright, then you can roll for those.
Is it actually on here too?
That I don't know. I know I put it in the, I think...
I was looking for... Let's see if I
think it's in the
roll
notes.
it. It's going to use it, isn't? Oh, I'm using the spells. Yeah, I'll just roll it here. So it's going to be one of these and another one of these. For fuck's sake. 7 plus 10, 17 total.
And Grelda clears her throat and straightens a little. That's refreshing. Also,
Excellent.
nice shot back there.
Thank you.
Do you need to collect your? Oh, that probably take much time. We're going to the pit.
Yeah,
Okay.
How many can I collect on the way?
What was that?
How many bolts can I collect on the way? Can I collect the ones in this room? Never mind. If I can collect them on the way, that'd be great.
How many did you... let me see.
I have shot 15.
3, 6, 9... with where they are. I will say you, out of this room, you collect... Where's my D100? There we go. You collect 8 of the 9.
Sweet. 8 of the 9.
8 of 9. So that means there are 6 more in other places unaccounted for that you have not searched for yet.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so everybody follows Geisen holding this frog that keeps trying to jump out of Icky's claws. But you make it to this pit, and you are standing in front of it.
And Geisen asks, how badly do you need to talk to this guy?
I'm sorry you broke up. You said what?
How badly do you need to talk to this guy?
Do we have an idea where we're going next to find this angry water, to find this ascent, to follow the next step in this mad hunt? If you've got another clue, then I don't need to talk to this guy at all. If we don't know where the hell we're going, then maybe we need to talk to him. But in all honesty, I would be just happy to get rid of this thing and make sure it's dead.
Because here's my thought. We toss it down the pit. Once it's a little ways down, I stop concentrating. It turns back into himself and then plummets and dies when he hits the bottom.
I mean, unless if he can fly or bounce or something.
What if he gets stuck?
I didn't see any wings.
And I mean, if it gets stuck, it's even better. Because then we can talk and leave it to die. Less damage.
That's another option, is I can continue to concentrate till it hits the bottom, the frog dies. He'd be alive at the bottom of the pit.
Do we know what's at the bottom of the pit?
What?
Do we know what's at the bottom of the pit? I mean, it'd be really great if we had something that can fly down there and tell us what's at the bottom of the pit without hurting itself. I don't know if we need to find something that can fly down there and into the pit and maybe see what's down there.
So,
John, can I look through Ollivander while concentrating?
Yes, those are 2 completely different things.
Okay, well then I'll do that then. I'll send Ollivander down.
Alright, the pit does go down about 100 feet. And at the bottom, all there is just a huge swath of ash and shattered bones. You can see the ground under the ash and bones in certain spots, so you know it's not very deep, but it's about 20 feet wide, circular, not a perfect circle, but circular, 100 feet down, and then there's just ash and bones at the bottom.
And there's no passages or anywhere for him to escape.
No, it is angled, so climbing out is a possibility. There's not a ladder or handholds, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility that somebody could climb the 100-foot side of this thing given the opportunity.
I really listen from
Fireball after.
what?
I say toss him down and chuck a fireball after him.
I didn't ask how big the pit was. I said I'd cast Fireball.
I mean, that's an option. I don't think it's going to kill him. I relay the information from Ollivander to the group and bring Ollivander back.
How deep was it again? I missed that part.
100 feet.
And this guy is 50 feet tall?
25.
Yeah, good call, Geisen. Have at it.
So do we want to attempt to drop him to his death or just trap him at the bottom?
I really don't think this is going to kill him. I think it's going to harm him, but I don't think it's going to kill him. So, what you think is best? I'd probably drop him down, release the spell, and maybe we can get some damage done to him. Because if he does start climbing back out, at least he's injured.
Yep, we'll go with that. So I take the... Well, actually, I'll just tell Icky, go ahead and drop the frog, and I wait to time it so that, just when he's down... well, do you know how fast does polymorph, is it instant he's gonna pop into giant form, or
Yes.
is it like a transformation?
It's gonna. I would say it's gonna be instant. There's nothing I've read that leads me to believe it's a process, because you polymorph him in a single turn, which is 6 seconds max. So like a second maybe.
Then I'll wait until he's far enough down that I feel confident he can't like transform into a giant and like grab onto the edge or something.
Oh, it's 100 feet. How many feet down do you want to let him go before you flip the switch?
25, I guess.
25 feet? Okay, so 75 feet. Alright, so Icky has a frog, the squirming frog. He takes it over his head, throws it down. This little frog that everybody has a hard time seeing is just like spinning as it falls down. Once it hits 25 feet, Geisen stops concentrating, and it immediately goes from this tiny frog that nobody can see to this giant that is about 3/4 of the width of, actually 25. He is 25 feet tall. So anyway, he's falling down the middle of it. He can't quite reach out to the sides, but he's within a few, probably 5 feet of both sides. And he starts falling, even hitting the side. That's 75 feet of falling. It's 1d6 for every 10 feet, so that is 7d6 fall damage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want everyone to see this. Let's see. Takes 27 damage as he slams into the bottom. Fall damage, they are knocked prone. So he does, like, literally face plant into the bottom. And there's this huge cloud of ash. And actually, you guys, everybody does notice this. Actually, everybody notices a small skull, like, flipping up. It actually comes all the way out. And then Sanishi sees it, and you see it's actually a goblin skull. And it flies over your head and hits the ground behind you.
Oh, my giggles. The giggles I have had this entire time erupt back into outrageous laughter.
Alright, so he hits the ground, and after a couple of seconds, he does end up pushing himself up, and then stands up and looks up the 100-foot, the 75 feet between him and you guys at the top of the pit.
Hey down there! Hey, asshole! Can you hear me?
I have ears.
Grelda, like, not super quiet, but, like, does say out loud, does he seem small to you? He seems a little small to me.
Where's the Ascendant?
Why are you looking for the Ascendant?
I'm tired of dealing with his lapdogs. I need to talk to him directly.
Even lapdogs have lapdogs.
So he's just a lapdog too.
Everyone is a lapdog to Kurzog.
That's
Even
fantastic.
you.
I still need to find the Ascendant.
He's not here.
Where is he?
Maybe if you look elsewhere, you can find him.
So what's your deal here? How are you tied up in a cave with these guys instead of doing something a little more your size?
I enjoy being in charge of these pathetic creatures.
Really? You call these creatures pathetic when you're the one who feels like a big man watching over them? That's ridiculous.
That's big words from a small green child.
Says the douche in the pit.
There are worse places to be.
whatever. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
You've killed my minions. Leave me be.
For what? What's the trade for your life?
I don't know where he is. I've never spoken with him directly.
So tell me about the dam. Who was responsible for blowing up the dam and wiping out that town?
We heard the explosion. It was glorious. That was my servants, along with Lucretia. She has interesting methods.
Is that snake lady we killed already?
Yeah. Do we still have her head?
I don't think you actually took her head.
I don't think
Cut
we
it
kept that
off,
one,
but
did
you
we?
didn't take this one.
I think I just showered in her blood.
That was you. Yep, I remember that part very, very vividly. Anyone have
It
questions?
was Lucretia who came to us with the plan.
And where did the plan come to her from?
Somebody above her.
So you got nothing more to brag about? Who put you up to this? Why you're licking someone off the group? Nothing?
He's obviously just
If-
worthless. He knows nothing. Just
If
kill him.
I tell you, you'll leave.
Ooh, yeah, we're leaving one way or another. We're
That's
not
true,
leaving.
we are leaving. Yeah. I mean,
That's
I
never
look
gonna
over at Grilda.
Say
and
that
I
again.
I look over at Grilda and I whisper to her, so what is your intent for us to end this and you still feel okay about it? You can reply to this message. I didn't say it out loud, I said it in your head.
Okay, I can't respond to the message silently though, can I?
Yes, you can.
I can.
Yes, you can.
Okay, awesome. Because my response is there's an entire room filled with very angry ogres who have a reason to want this person dead. We can leave and they can do what they need to.
I don't think they'll do it. That's not a whisper. That Tarnan actually said it loud. I don't think they'll do it though.
I think they will if we tell them to.
I mean, all they really need to do is pick up some large boulders and throw them down the pit. We could probably ask them to do that before they leave.
Yep, and as long as they don't encroach on human territory afterwards, they're still keeping the bargain that they struck with regards to us freeing them.
You can have
All right,
push
who's gonna watch?
on the giant man.
I turn in if he believes what the guy is saying or if he thinks that he's lying or holding anything back.
I don't believe much of anything he says.
If he's got nothing good to give us and you don't believe it anyway, then we should just kill him.
Well, I have another thing I can try. I'll send the spell book down within 30 feet of him.
Okay.
I think it floats, right?
Yeah, it does.
And then I'll cast Suggestion. So Wisdom 17.
All right. He fails.
I suggest to him that he should tell us everything we want to know, because maybe he'll get to live.
He never ceases to amaze.
All right. So
Done.
as like Kyson casts this, and you see him twitch, and everybody except Icky, because you can't see that far, sees his eyes kind of open up wider and is like, he just is staring up.
If you let me live, I will tell you what you need to know.
We won't take any harm towards you. We will not be the ones to harm you. We will leave.
What do you want to know?
I want to know where to find the Ascended. I want to know where to find your master. Who's next in line?
I don't know where the Ascended is. He is constantly on the move. He gets his orders directly from my Lord Kurzog, so he's never in one place. He always has an objective. My master, Mark Murian, he is currently at Jorgenfist, planning our next assault.
I'm sorry, Sean, where did you say he was?
At Jorgenfist? Soft.
Thank
J.
goodness, 'cause I thought you said your behest, and I'm like, oh no, is it someone we know? That's not good.
It's Paddock! He was Kurzog the whole time!
Dude, not even funny.
He'll, at the end, he'll pop up and be like, I told you I was sneaky, and then he'll pull off his mask Scooby-Doo style and be fucking...
As long as it's not a Miko. It just can't be a Miko.
That would be terrible.
Yes. So he said at Jorgenfist with a J. I can give you the spelling later. It's a soft J, like yogging.
I actually totally thought of that when you said soft J. What's the boss's name?
Mock Murian.
Macmillian, yeah.
Mock Murian.
It's like a fake Maid Marian.
Close enough. And what is it Macmillian is doing in Jorgenfest again?
He said he's planning the next assault.
The assault on where? I'm asking the giant.
Yeah,
no,
I'm looking at my notes. Hold on a second.
Gotcha.
I can't say I planned for the giant being in a pit answering questions. So, give me just a second.
You didn't think the giant would get turned into a frog?
I can't say I planned for that. What do you know? Actually,
Lars ruins all plans in the best ways
no,
possible.
you guys take what I have planned. You go along the path, and then you find like a little tiny exit door that I didn't know was there, and you just fucking go off to the side.
You gave us a pit. What were we supposed to do with the pit? Ignore the pit?
I didn't think you were gonna throw him in it. All right. So I'm sorry. What was the question again, Bill?
Brandon was asking, finding the next assault on where?
My master has gotten information that something we seek is in a town, and he is sending our brothers to retrieve it.
It's not cryptic at all.
What town?
Some podunk human settlement. Dirt Tip. Sandpoint. Sandpoint, yes. My brothers and sisters will go there. And they're bringing a friend.
What friend are they bringing?
A dragon.
Is it Mark?
I mean, are you sure?
Oh, hi, Mark. What was that?
Oh, I'm talking with the dude in the pit now.
Yep. What's up?
Are you sure? Because you killed a dragon not that long ago.
Wow.
When was the last time you saw this dragon? What's it look
See,
like?
see.
I seriously doubt that this dragon is the one you killed.
What else can you tell us about Sandpoint?
That they're on their way. That they'll be there soon if they're not there already. I got a missive from Mokmurian days ago telling me to prepare, telling me to make sure the weapons were ready, that they might be followed back from Sandpoint. And I needed weapons ready with my ogres to aid Jorgenfist's defense if necessary. I have gotten comfortable here, so I might not have been pushing my slaves as hard as I should.
They're trying to retrieve.
Alright. Geisen first.
What are they trying to retrieve from Sandpoint?
I was told they narrowed down their search for an item to there. I don't know and don't care what they take from this pit of humans.
I swear to God, if it's behind that door and the goblin,
I had the same thought. Oh my god.
like I swear to God, you guys.
Grelda does turn to Icky and say, how much time do we have left on your giant bird?
So I think at this point, like with the amount of time, it's more distance that'll be the limiting factor. Let me double check it.
Other conversation happening while we do this. Grelda obviously very concerned. Point.
Yeah.
Where is Jorgenfist?
Let's see.
You hold on a second while I look at... Sorry, I need to look at the map of Varisia before I can answer that.
And the rock can fly a maximum of 144 miles per day.
Shit. Alright,
With
hold
a
on.
1 hour
I gotta go
rest
grab my
for-
actual map. Hold on a second.
Okay, because there is a map in Maps and Handouts. And just in case no one's been seeing it, I have been leaving hilarious images for everyone in campaign chat.
You have been. It's been fabulous.
Well, that's good.
Ooh.
Doop-a-doop-doo.
So once you're done looking at a thing, Sean, I have a
Not more math! No.
no. Never mind.
No, that's fine.
It was going to be a hinky question, but I realized I figured out the answer.
Oh, okay. I knew where Jorgenfist was. Where is Jorgenfist?
And I'm pretty sure that several of us need some form of rest, but yeah.
Yeah, we can. I know it is 10:40, so. Oh, do you mean
I
your
just meant
characters
in-
or
I
your
meant in
real
character.
people? Okay.
I mean, real people don't need rest, Sean. Let's be real.
Fuck
I
that.
mean, like, both can be true.
I've used up my real life rages as well as my fake rages today.
What the shit? Rabble.
Which is not entirely true. I could get angry one more time in character.
Ah, hold on a second.
We've asked Sean too many math questions. We've lost him.
The things that happen when I don't have every single thing in this 500-page book memorized.
I can't believe you didn't expect us to turn him into a frog and throw him down a pit. I mean,
And question him.
really.
What kind of DM are you?
Terrible one.
Terrible.
I
Just
mean, how people were going to find out we had to get to Sandpoint like yesterday?
Sean would definitely do that to us. That is so his MO to be like, well, nothing you can do here.
oh, look, everybody's dead. What do you know?
Sandpoint has been leveled. The message says Sandpoint has been leveled.
Storable Deep.
So they're all higher level now? What was it?
Thank you. That's the best. Yes.
All
That is
right.
exactly.
So, Jorgenfist is... It is actually... So,
Actually,
it is in the... Alright, it's alright, alright. Now that I know, back in character.
Jorgenfist is to the northwest of the Storval Deeps in the Theron Mountains. Good luck finding it.
You just making up words.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Somebody made up words 15 years ago when they wrote this, but Storval Deep and Theron Peaks. And Jorgenfist with the soft J.
Oh, how can we locate it there?
By looking. I've never been there.
I turned to the group and asked, well, actually, no, this would be a better DM question. How long ago did we defeat the goblins at Sandpoint?
Let me tell you when I open up the campaign compendium and look at dates.
calendar.
Drive.
I think it was a couple years ago.
I think it might have been about a month by now, but let me double check.
Still is correct, however, still wrong.
That's amazing. That's an amazing talent, being correct and wrong.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's been a while.
All right, so what date are you looking for again?
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't some chance that the attack he's talking about is the one we already stopped. But it's
All right.
if it's been like
that
more than a month.
happened on Rova 22, which was last week.
Oh yes.
So it's Rova, and then Lamachan is the next month. It has been almost a month, not a full month yet, since the attack on Sandpoint when the campaign began.
Can someone? Because I think we sent the polished skull of the dragon that we killed to the rusty dragon, which is a little bit like saying, "Look, we killed your baby," to the dragon that might be appearing there now.
Oh no.
Would you say that skull has made it yet?
It has been. I have travel time written down. Hold on.
Just imagining the dragon being like, "All right, I will spare your town." And then, wait,
Wait,
What
is
is
that
that?
my baby?
burn everything.
Yeah, Grelda has no sense of time because she was vomiting on a ship for a lot of it, but it seems bad.
All right, whistle down 4 days to Turtleback Ferry. It has been 5 days ish, 5 to 6
then
days.
no way the
No,
dragon's
6
still
days.
there
It
yet.
has been about 6 days. And by boat, it is 600 miles from Whistledown all the way back to Magnamar, and then to Sandpoint. So it's 600 miles just to Magnamar, and then there's the distance to Sandpoint.
Do you know
Which was a day and a
anything?
half.
Do you know any details about the assault that they're planning?
Just that. My brothers and sisters will take the dragon and to retrieve the item. We'll see how merciful or merciless they feel when they get there. The dragon is not known for his mercy.
Really
Turns spins on his heel and walks back towards those other slave ogres.
Okay. Were you saying something, Grella?
She's just secretly hoping that it's not a cask of really old wine that they want, because she did send that back to Whistledown. But definitely gonna follow Tarnan at this point.
Alright, so Tarnan and Grelda are walking towards the slave ogres. Anybody else do anything?
Icky will follow.
Okay.
I guess everybody else is going.
Well, somebody should stay and watch the giant. Make sure he doesn't do something unexpected.
Alright, I can stay.
Alright, so the three of you turn and start walking away. And the giant just looks up at guys and...
You told me you'd leave and let me live.
We haven't killed you yet, have we?
You haven't left yet either. What more do you want from me?
That might be it.
Ask him for a bedtime story.
Alright, so you make your way back. The ogres are still in the exact same places they were before. Their chains aren't long enough to let them go very far.
Well, speaking of that, I asked him to toss up his key.
He takes it out, makes a strength check.
Can Ollivander catch it?
I'm gonna use my mage hand.
There you go.
That's a good thing, because he rolled a 1 on his strength check.
Oh,
He
dear.
is still reeling from the 70-foot fall. And he takes it, he throws it, and it makes about halfway, and then falls back down. So then Ollivander comes down, swoops... Or no, your mage hand goes down, picks up the keys, and brings them up.
I'm doing some mental math. It would be like me taking a 15-foot fall.
I message, I don't know, I guess Tarnan, and let him know that I have the keys.
I respond, excellent, bring it here, please. Or send it here.
Can Ollivander, like, carry stuff?
Depends on how big a key is, I imagine.
No?
Is this a giant-sized key or like a person-sized?
I would say it is a larger than normal key.
So like an ogre-sized key, okay.
Can be gripped by?
I'm gonna say that Ollivander can't carry it because I don't know the rules on familiars carrying things.
Is Sanishi still? Because you said only 3 of us went down. Is Sanishi still there?
I
No.
didn't hear what Sanishi said, so...
I joined. I went to the.
Alright, so
Just,
she's with you guys.
I
Go back,
tell
yeah.
him to send somebody back to pick them up. Then.
Yeah, I'll happily go trot back and pick him up and.
Okay. So Sanishi goes back, grabs the keys from Geisen, brings them to Tarnan.
So upon entry to this, Tarnan stands in the middle of the room, menacingly loads his crossbow, looks around and says, "Which one, you fat fuck?" in the most intimidating posture and manner that he can. "Which one, you fat lazy fucks, is supposedly in charge now."
Okay, first give me an intimidation check.
Idiot.
Can
Just
Can
fucking have
Grelda
it.
assist with this?
Are you is intimidation something you're proficient in?
Would I have a next?
You
I have a really high bonus to it.
You have a half. You are not.
Okay.
You can.
I go to help, but I'm not there anymore.
Oh, you are. You brought the keys.
Oh, I brought the keys.
Yeah, so
Then
I will let Sanishi help
help.
with the intimidation check.
You want me to roll again, or are you gonna roll again?
No, you roll again. You go for it.
I mean, the first one was pretty good. Whoa, hello. Okay.
That one's a little better.
All right. The ogre that still has the other ogre's head next to his anvil kind of like looks at you, looks at Sanishi, kind of like takes a half step back.
We're slaves. There's nobody in charge.
Listen, I'm in charge. You got that?
Sure, little man, sure. You're in charge. What do you want?
So he doesn't seem intimidated at all?
No, he's intimidated.
Okay. If I spare your lives and let you go right now, are you gonna go crawling back to that pit where that asshole is stuck, that half giant, or that giant, what the hell was his name again?
Barl Breakbones.
Where Paulo is now stuck, waiting to slowly starve to death, or are you gonna take him out?
That bastard's in a pit.
Yeah.
If you let us go, we'll make sure he never gets out of that pit.
The second thing is, if I see you come near Fort Rannoch or any of the human towns again, I will fucking wipe you out. Do you understand me?
That was not our choice, so... Understood.
Then we have an accord. Sanishi, let him have the key.
Give him the key.
All right. He takes it, looks at it, looks at you guys, and like keeps his eye on Tarnan as he goes down, bends down, and undoes his shackle.
As soon as he starts unlocking himself, good luck, good fortune, and don't ever let me find you again. And I spin on my heel and start walking out of the cave.
While this is all happening, I sent Ollivander around to look for loot.
Give me a perception check for Ollivander.
How far it takes Conan to realize that he still needs to check that other room for his crossbow bolts, he will then walk sheepishly back and go look for them.
Sorry. I am mentally seeing Tarnan with authority turn on his heels, take like 5 strides out of the room, stop, turn on his heels, take 5 strides back, and then just start looking on the ground. That's fantastic. Go about your business. Okay.
Hey, just to try to save face, there were no dead ones in that room, so...
They're the dead one. You basically... No, okay. So you were in the middle of the room. You walked out to the dead bodies and then started looking. So you didn't actually need to double back into the room.
Close enough.
You find... Because there were 6 more. You do find all 6 of them. Either in bodies or...
Down 1.
What was that?
So I'm down 1.
You're down 1 from when you started.
Roger that.
And Ollivander's perception check.
14.
14. Okay. The only thing he finds is next to Barl's throne. Let's see how good this comes through. Oh yeah, I'm sending it through, since we're not in person and I actually did a prop, but nobody's here to take it, I sent it through Discord. Let me know if you can read it. This.
Oh, his name was Earl all along.
The dragon's name was Mark? What?
The dragon marks make so much sense now.
And then, well, can Geisen hear this whole thing, the conversation down the other room, or is that too far away?
I would say so. I mean, it's a cave and nobody's being quiet. Tarnin's being very loud, so I would say you'd be able to. It would be echoes, so you'd have to like concentrate. But I would say you'd be able to understand it and hear it.
Then, since I know that we're wrapping up here, I call down to the pit, tell them, true to our word, we're leaving. May you get everything that you deserve. And I walk off.
You hear a grunt, and then the sound of him like scraping against the walls as you walk away. And then everybody else, I'm assuming, kind of follows, and everybody exits out of the cave. Yes?
Yep.
Maybe.
Yes.
All right.
Did we check out the statue when we came in? I don't remember.
Well, you looked at it. You didn't really spend any time with it. But you
We spent enough time for Grelda to realize it's holding a real weapon, just like the other.
Yes, it is holding a. Let's see. It is a
glaive.
It is a 40-foot tall giant with black skin covered by fissures and cracks like the bed of a dried river. He wears majestic armor and grips a towering glaive in his armored fists. The giant's face is hidden by a ferocious full helm forged into a sneering grimace of a fanged devil. And around the giant's neck hangs a medallion, a 7-pointed star. That was very big. Very large.
Yes, Anishi decided it was a little bit too gaudy for, her social and fashion.
She prefers the smaller signs of mass murderers. Serial killers, sorry.
Well, since we're leaving the cave, is anybody else okay with us being done?
Yeah, that's kind of this. Unless somebody, basically, once you all were done inside of the Hook Mountain clan hold, once you got outside, I figured we'd stop for the night because that is a good place to stop. Give everybody kind of a time to think of what's happening next, what you want to do next. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, hit me up. But yeah, I think it's a good place to stop.